Welcome to St Mary's Stadium at St Mary's here for this Andrew Johns and Laurie Daley Cup fixtures between the Penrith Panthers and the Riverina Bulls. I am Chris McPherson in commentary, joined by Chris Longworth. Thanks for joining us today, Chris.
No problem, Chris. Thanks for having me.
We might just run through the team list to start with. So we'll start with the Penrith Panthers here for this Andrew Johns Cup Under-16s fixture. In the 1, Ezra Gaucher. In the 2, Malachi Tereke. 3, Latrell Leota. 5, Jesse Hudson. 6, Isaiah Katoa, and he's the skipper. 7, Tyler Bunting. 8, Connor Peru. 9, Billy Scott. 10, Leighton Tautua. 11, Uali Elisara. 12, Liam Aarons. 13, Luron Patea. 14, Jaden Chapman. 15, Ethan Hutchings. 16, Ifai Pamale. 17, Bonamarie Taki. 18, Jaden Stacker. 21, Matthew Newland. And for the Riverina Bulls, we have in the 1 jersey, David Ottey. 2, Jack Little. 3, Travis Barrett Hancock. 4, Benjamin Rumble. 5, Isaac Peaver. 6, Logan Collins. 7, Bobby Jones. 8, William Roworth. 9, Charlie Corcoran. The 20 in the front row is Cody McInerney. In the 11 we have Marcus Blair. The 12 is Dylan McCartney. The 13, Mitchell Prest. 14, William Hurst. 15, Riley Seraphin. 16, Joshua Code. 18, Riley Norton Fraser. And the 24 is Brody Merchant. Promises to be a belter clash here at St Mary's today, and our referees for the fixture will be Pat Allen. Touch judges are Thomas Williamson and Nicholas Freund. It's a little bit overcast here today, but dry track for plenty of high quality representative football action. Today's fixture is brought to you by the sponsor partners SLE Worldwide Australia, Anytime Fitness, and of course the live stream providers bring you all the sounds and actions of today's fixture, and they are of course Bar TV Sports. As I said, this is the Andrew Johns Cup fixture between Penrith Panthers and the Riverina Bulls, and will be followed by the Laurie Daley Cup fixture in the under-18s as well. The competition a few rounds old now, Chris Longworth, and it's great to see an opportunity for these young players coming out and representing their regions.
Yeah, it's great. A few young guys down from the country today with the Riverina teams. Looking to be a great day of football.
Certainly is, and it's great to see sort of the pathway now being available for these players. They don't necessarily have to go down and play in the Jersey Flag or the SG Ball competitions to represent their areas. They can stay at home, and there's still that pathway to the NRL for them going forward.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for them to still play with their mates at a representative level, but be seen on the biggest stage.
It certainly is, and great to have CRL organising the live stream of this, and it's a great opportunity for us to be involved in the commentary as we just wait for the teams to take the field in today's fixture. Kickoff shouldn't be too far away. So this is the round 4 fixture in the Andrew Johns Cup in the Southern Pool, and as things currently stand, Penrith are in 3rd and the Riverina Bulls are in 4th. So a crucial fixture for these two sides as we see the Riverina Bulls led out by their 3, Travis Barrett Hancock. And these sides obviously both battling here. A win would certainly put them in the mix for a top 2 position, which would see them go through to the semi-finals in a couple of weeks' time. But a loss is going to make it a very hard road for the side that comes out the worst of today's fixture, as we see the Penrith Panthers take the field here at St Mary's, led out by their captain Isaiah Katoa. The Panthers obviously in the traditional black, white, red, yellow and green of their NRL partners, and the Riverina Bulls in the country maroon and yellow as they take the field, and looks like we'll be set for kickoff any moment now. Looks like it'll be the Bulls kicking to the northern end of St Mary's Stadium here as the reserve players clear the field. clear the field, and the referee checks with the timekeepers, and Pat Allen will get us underway momentarily with Riverina kicking from right to left of your screen. And we're underway here at St Mary's. Panthers carving this one up early. It'll be a pretty simple set to get out this first set, I would have thought. Front rowers set up one off the ruck. Oh, that's a crucial mistake. And it's going to hand Riverina a very early opportunity here, Chris Longworth.
Yeah, it gives them perfect opportunity, fresh into their game. Looking to set for the scrum now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they use this set piece here as they settle into this game early, Riverina. They set most of their players to the open side, as you'd expect. And it looks like it'll be Bobby Jones from West Wyalong to feed the scrum. You can see a bit of a size difference between the two sides, that's for sure. The Panthers, as traditionally with the Sydney side, just that little bit bigger across the paddock. Taking a little bit of time, referee Allen just setting his expectation for the scrums from the first one. And he goes there to Barrett Hancock, the Albury product. Takes a few Panthers to stop him. At 12 out from the try line. And they go to the half there. Step back in field. Nothing too fancy so far in the early tackles from the Bulls. And a decoy out the back. What numbers here? If they decide to run it, they rather than use the hands. And Penrith are more than matched to that task. Jones organising them, gives the short ball. Wasn't much on there. The Penrith defence were up quite quickly and covered that easily. Again, out the back, they seem to like that option. He kicks to the corner. The high ball. Well, it looks like it's gone back twice there, but the third one might have been a knock on, I'd say, and we'll have a changeover to Penrith. And they'll have to work hard here to get out. Oh, it looks like he's called a scrum. Penrith must have got a touch there as well, so a scrum with the loose head and feed to the Panthers on their own 10-metre line in the northeastern corner of St Mary's Stadium here. Again, referee Pat Allen being very clear on his instructions at the scrum. Ball's in, it's out. And if we're looking to complete this after failing to complete their first set, and take the ball into the opposition half for the first time will be their plan. They look to go reasonably wide early here and use their centres. And that's Latrell Leota with the ball now, taking that last hit up. Good little tip on there. Looking for a quick play of the ball. As it looks like Rumble brings that one back. It's tackled just short of the 30-metre line for Riverina. Peaver, the Ender product, takes that one into contact. It's a fair spread of distance this Riverina side covers as they approach the halfway line. With a great hit up there. Oh, great offload there from one front rower to the other. But unfortunately, couldn't hang on to that, and it's been turned over. And Penrith now with an opportunity to cart the ball out of their own half. Some very heavy contact early in some of these tackles, Chris. They're certainly not missing the mark, the defence from both sides.
No, some great young tackles here from the fellas, especially the Penrith in the middle there. Some nice strong hits.
I'm quite impressed with the 8 here from Riverina. He's looked handy with the ball in hand and also sticking his tackle in defence. So he's going quite well as Penrith kick down into the corner, but finds the winger there, Isaac Peaver, on the full. And he returns it. He's driven back to almost the 20-metre line by that strong Penrith defence. And there's the first penalty of the match there. Penrith just a little bit too keen to shoot up in defence to shut down that scoot, and Riverina will take the opportunity here to take this out of their own half and have another attacking set. And he finds touch just past the halfway line. And it'll be Riverina on the attack from about 45 out. As we see Charlie Corcoran take the tap. And they card it up to the 30-metre line, Riverina. They're set now. They look for the short ball to McInerney there. On the bookends, starting in the 20 jersey. He's looking to get his arm free there. Couldn't quite do it. He got away a great offload in the last set. Go out the back here. And the short ball to the 11. That's Marcus Blair from Wagga Brothers. Charlie Corcoran urging him on, the young cherry picker. Short ball again there to Brodie Merchant, it looks like. 24. Fullback sweeps around. Oh, 5'8" drag down, inches short. Bobby Jones. Oh, sorry, Logan Collins it is. Oh, ball's gone straight through the hands there. Could still be on here, though, if they can get the feet. No, can't quite find the space in that corner. And that's a handover as the last tackle. The Riverina team really looking to chance their hand there rather than looking for the kick, Chris.
Yeah, they did. Threw the ball around a bit. Penrith are very strong in defence there, held them out.
They're certainly trying to work them side to side, and Penrith will now have their work cut out as they are pinned right in that far corner. And they'll be working this set out. That's tackle 1, and they're about 10 out from their own line. Haven't seen much ball in the attacking half yet, the Panthers, in the opening 6.5 minutes of this Andrew Johns Cup fixture here at St Mary's Stadium in Sydney. Got the numbers on the outside here if they can use their hands quickly. Yeah, sliding defence from the halfback there. Bobby Jones is strong, and they drive the Penrith player into touch, and another great opportunity for Riverina to go on the attack here as they'll get a scrum just outside the attacking 20-metre. Had a few sets down here so far, but haven't really threatened too much.
No, not a great deal happening at the moment, but there's a lot of promise in their attack. We will see a bit soon, I would think.
Yeah, they seem to only have sort of a couple of options. They seem to go that short ball early, or they'll go out the back through the halfback Jones, and it'll be interesting to see whether his combination, their club teammates, himself and the 5'8", Logan Collins, both from West Wyalong, whether that might click into gear soon. You think that familiarity would certainly help. Well, again, referee Pat Allen really taking control of these scrums. It looks like he's trying to set a platform, Chris.
Yeah, opening good stint from him so far. Good 10 metres in his distance. Good control.
He certainly controlled the game well, and then we're back underway here as they go to the 4, and that's Benjamin Rumble carting that one up inside the 20-metre line. Slow play the ball, and that's the 24. That's Brodie Merchant. He keeps pumping those legs to take him inside the 10. They're in prime attacking position now. They go to the blind side. Looks like Jones and Collins are really setting their back line here and starting to set up a play. There it is, Jones. Oh, but he can't reel it in. It was right in the breadbasket. And again, they turn the ball over inside that attacking 10 metres. A big defensive set here and try and maintain possession in the right spot on the field. As we see Patea take that one forward. A few nervy little handling moments from both sides so far, the opening stanza of this game. And there's Penrith's first penalty. He's crowding the ruck a little bit and not allowing the quick play the ball that he earned, the Penrith player. So they'll look to kick and find touch close to halfway here. That's exactly what happens, just across the halfway. And they'll be right on the attack. First time they've really had the ball in the attacking position.
Both teams with a few little errors creeping in now. Penrith get an opportunity here.
Yeah, it just looks like, as I said, some early nerves. As we see Liam Aaron's cart on forward. He's really carted with intent in his couple of runs so far. Billy Scott at 9. Gives it off. Tautua. He's making some big meters up the middle. They keep going to the left. Decoy there. They go out to the left. Looks like 11 playing in the left centre position. Elisara. And he beats him with footwork. Darts through and dives over to opening the scoring. Penrith Panthers 4. Riverina Bulls 0 with a kick to come. Great work there by Elisara.
First real opportunity Penrith had, and they took advantage of it straight away.
Yeah, you can certainly see the difference in the combination straight away, and looked a little bit more organised and certainly had their attacking options planned out, and it paid off. Some good footwork there from Elisara, and you'd expect this kick that it'll become 6-0 to Penrith with about 10 minutes gone here, Chris.
Yeah, a bit of feeling coming into it now. Both teams starting to niggle, costly little errors going both ways, and Penrith just have to chance their arm and score pretty soon.
Yeah, they certainly capitalised on their first opportunities. We said it's the first time they've really had the ball in the attacking half, and they made no mistake. It was a couple of soft missed tackles there certainly helped their cause, but if weight of possession shown us anything, then Penrith going against the run of play. And look, if Riverina continue to give them opportunities, I think they'll continue to make them pay.
Yeah, a couple of front rows here from Penrith just rolling straight through, set the platform, and the halves took it from there.
Certainly did. As we see the half, Tyler Bunting line out this kick. It should be a relatively easy attempt, but I've seen easier ones miss, so we'll just wait and see how he nails his first kick of the day. As I said, Penrith currently leading 4 points to 0 over the Riverina Bulls with a kick to come. Comes in Bunting. Strikes it well, a little stab. The touch judges like it, and that'll be Penrith Panthers. 6 points, leading Riverina Bulls yet to score. Almost 11 minutes gone in this first half of this Andrew Johns Cup fixture. Of course, today's fixtures are brought to you by the sponsors, SLE Australia Worldwide and Anytime Fitness, and of course the live stream providers, Bar TV Sports, who are bringing you all today's pictures and sound. As we're brought back underway by the boot of Dylan McCartney. And that'll be Penrith to bring it back out of their own defensive red zone. And again, Penrith just, each time they front rowers and second rowers seem to be able to just beat that first tackler, which is really key, getting those post-contact metres. And they're really starting to roll on as they take it almost to the 40 on the second tackle here. Another great run as we see Tautua. He's storming away. He beats the fullback, but can't quite beat the cover defence. Gets up for a quick play of the ball. I was going to say, it looked like they were really working to slow him down and give away a penalty there just to allow their team to reset, Chris.
Yeah, that was a little too obvious there. Two plays, just didn't want to let go. They were looking for a quick play of the ball from Penrith and got the penalty instead. Yeah,
I think they're much happier to give away the penalty than a broken line to present to this Penrith side. So here they go again, and that's Patea carting the ball forward. Again, they're making 10 plus metres nearly every tackle, these forwards for the Panthers side. So they go to that left edge again. Drops it back underneath, and there's that man, the try scorer, Eli Sara. Can't break through this time, though, as they come back to the right. And that's Patea. He carts it up. He doesn't look like any option but carting it forward. Doesn't look to pass. They're set to the right again here. He swings it through to Katoa, the skipper, all the way out to the centre. That's Leota. It's taking 3 Riverina players to stop him. They're drawing them in here. They set back, Katoa. Here's the Patea. Oh, he's reached out and dotted it down. The Riverina players just standing off again in defence, and Penrith extend their lead 10 points to 0 over the Riverina Bulls. And that was Luron Patea dotting that one down right under the black dot, and he'll make a very easy conversion attempt for their half, Tyler Bunting, Chris.
Yeah, Penrith have found their momentum now, a bit of rhythm, helped them up the field. A couple of costly errors from Riverina may cost them in the end.
Yeah, those first up missed tackles are starting to really add up. I don't think there was a tackle in either of those sets of attacking football from Penrith where the first Riverina player managed to stick the tackle, and they're making 10, 15 and more metres their forwards as they carted on up, and a lot of the Riverina players are already starting to show the signs of fatigue, which is not a great sign when we're not even 15 minutes into this first half. Speaking of fatigue, we see the first interchange player getting ready to take the field for the Bulls, and that'll be the 18, Riley Norton-Fraser from the Wagga Brothers Club. Bunting, he'll come in with his little stabber, almost a golf wedge action that he's got. Doesn't overkick these. Just pulls a little bit out. Nails that one straight over the black dot to extend their lead. Penrith Panthers 12 points lead. The Riverina Bulls 0. We're about 14 minutes into this Andrew Johns Cup fixture here at St Mary's Stadium between the Riverina Bulls and the Penrith Panthers. And from what we've seen so far, Penrith certainly have had the best of the running after holding out a few attacking sets from the Bulls early on. If they can stay disciplined, you'd expect the Panthers should continue on with their form.
They do look like a dominant team at the moment. See what the rest of the game brings us. As
they cart it out again with some intent. And again, that first tackler just can't quite stick. And Penrith get a quick play of the ball there. And they continue their march on. Starting to see the backs coming in for some work. That's Latrell Leota carting that one forward. So go to the left edge here. Haven't seen much of Puru yet, but that's a strong run there up to the halfway. And bring it back to the middle here, and they look for an early kick. And David Oddie's going to have his work to do to get this one out of the in goal. That's a great kick, and they've managed to chase to pin him in the in goal. He let that one bounce, hoping that it might run dead, but misread the bounce and ends up with a lot of work to do and couldn't find his way out of the in goal. So we'll see the Riverina Bulls with a goal line drop out here to take it back. And Penrith again on the attack inside that 50-metre area.
Just too many numbers there. Fullback from Riverina couldn't get out.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Oddie. I think he was hoping, he was willing that one to go dead, but just didn't get the bounce he needed. It ran on a bit, but not quite far enough, as we see a wobbly old drop out from the Bulls. And Katoa gets a nice little bounce off his boot and hands it off to Patea, the last try scorer. He throws it out the back, and it's juggled there by Billy Scott. He ends up grabbing hold of it and taking it into contact. And Penrith just need to stick to their structures here, and they'll continue on, I think, in the scoring manner. You see that man Puru, the front rower, carts it up again. Now it's Tautua. He's been strong. He gives it off to Katoa. The centre was napping. He's a long way deep there, Leota. He could have been in, but they've managed to break the tackle. Gives it off to Liam Aarons, and Liam Aarons goes in for Penrith's third try of the afternoon. And that extends the lead to Penrith Panthers 16, Riverina Bulls 0, with a kick to come. Panthers are just getting an absolute run on. They're rampaging now, Chris.
Their momentum's coming to full strength now. Sliding the ball side to side and getting through where they need to. Again,
just an instance of players falling off that tackle. They should have had that shut down after the Penrith backline wasn't set, but they allowed them break that first tackle, gave Katoa the option, and he gave that ball out, and Aarons went over untouched. They're making it look very easy and attack Penrith once they get that ball inside that attacking half. A little bit tougher kick now for Bunting, so we'll see how he does with these. His first two have been relatively simple kicks. This one about 9 metres in from touch on the western side of St Mary's Stadium here. You think, Chris, you like his odds from here? He's looked pretty comfortable. He's had plenty of distance on his first two kicks.
I'm backing him over with this one. Right footer, slot it through.
It'd be interesting to see if he swings it. His first two have been straight. Looks like he'll come round and have to sort of push it across the face and slot it between the posts. It's the tougher side for a right footer. As he comes in, strikes at Bunting, and he's just pushed that one across the face. Wasn't a bad strike, but not quite on line, and that remains the score. Penrith Panthers 16, Riverina Bulls 0. The Bulls will be looking, it's been a little bit since they've had the ball in hand, they'll be looking to get their hands back on that ball by shutting out Penrith and completing this set in defence.
Yeah, kick off here to Penrith. Hopefully they'll find the ball again and get their opportunity shortly.
That's a bit better kick off as he pins it down into the corner. And I'll say Tautua again. I think it is with the ball in hand. Been a strong runner so far. No, so that's Tautua now. After the offload, it was Pamali that took that one up. Plenty of metres for all the forwards here from Penrith. They'll spread it to the left. Again, Riverina missing that first up tackle. Looks like their 5'8" Collins might be in the wars there. He's holding his head, struggling back into the defensive line. Again, an early kick from Penrith. Looks to be a tactic here, but that one can't find the in goal, and we'll see Otti return this one. And as we said, the Bulls looking to capitalise after finally getting their hands back on the ball. It's been a while between drinks for them.
Logan Collins still down back player here, Chris, as well.
He certainly is. And trainer signal the referee, and he'll stop it. Stop the match. And two trainers dealing with just the one now, dealing with Collins. It's never a good sign when a player comes out of a tackle clutching the back of his neck and his head. Hopefully all is well there as we see Penrith getting ready for their second interchange. And that'll be the 21, the late inclusion, Matthew Newland. Looks like he'll take the field. And it looks like it might be Tautua coming off. He's had a great opening stint, Tautua, the prop. been involved in a bit of everything. And it also looks like Collins might be coming from the field for Riverina, so it might be a bit of a reshuffle as they the 14 just received some instructions. That is William Hurst from the Wagga Kangaroos. Some flowing locks that were hidden under the headgear there of Logan Collins. As he comes off, hopefully all's well there. And as we said, that is William Hurst taking the field in the 14 jersey. And might be a bit of a reshuffle here. Looks like he's heading to the ruck, so I'd say he might be going to dummy half. And that probably means that the 9, Charlie Corcoran, will go to 5'8". And that's where he slots in straight away. Looks like there's a bit of confusion as to who's running, and Riverina get a pressure relieving penalty there. They could really needed something to help them get out of their half.
Yeah, they'll have the opportunity with the ball in hand again then.
As we see, Bobby Jones kicks for touch, finds touch just short of the halfway. And then they'll look to cross the halfway here on the attack. Riverina, tip on. Looks like McInerney carting that one forward. He's got through a big stint first up here. That's Roworth now. As they approach the 30-metre line. Takes plenty of wrestle from 3 Panthers to bring him down. They're set to the left here. They come through Jones. Goes to the outside. But he's put the ball down there, unfortunately, Merchant. And that'll be a scrum to the Panthers. Costly errors for the Riverina Bulls, just not completing inside that attacking half when they get the opportunity.
Just can't seem to hold on to it at the moment. A few of the errors are all drop ball. Nothing sticking.
Certainly isn't, and Penrith will relish this opportunity to take the ball into the attacking half again and see if they can't cross for a 4th try. They've scored the last 3 possessions they've had, so it'll be discipline and sticking first up. That'll be crucial here for the Panthers. It's much better defensive effort, the first 2 tackles of this set from Riverina, as they've stuck those first up contacts. There's that man, the first try scorer, Eli Sara, takes that one into contact and crosses the 40-metre line. Here we go. They use the hands. That's Puru. He likes to use his footwork. Puru might be better off just tucking it under his arm and carting it forward. Broken tackles left, right and centre. But Katoa can't quite reel it in. He said it's gone backwards, the referee. He's called that one as a knock-on. Probably a little bit of justice there. I think Katoa was lucky to get away with the first one there, and Riverina now with an opportunity to card out their own half. It's been a little bit error-riddled this game so far, the opening 20 or so minutes, Chris.
Yeah, it's starting to kick in a bit, but that was much better defensively by Riverina. Stood strong, held their ground, got the result.
Probably a little bit fortunate, but you take it any way it comes at the moment when you're in their position and trailing by 16 points early in this Andrew Johns Cup fixture. As a stray boot strikes that one way out the back of the scrum. That's the 9 Corcoran going into contact, and he spilled it. That's not ideal. And the Panthers go straight on the attack. They look to swing it wide. If he can get on the outside here, he might be in a prime position. Oh, now he's dropped it. Doesn't seem like anyone wants to hang on to this pill. Anyone would have thought that it had been raining since kickoff the way the handling's going so far, but it's dry. It's a little bit humid, but there's no real excuse for this handling from both sides.
No, pretty decent conditions for football today. No real excuses.
Exactly right. It's not too hot. It's not wet. It's perfect dry track. It doesn't look like they've had much rain overnight. So, I mean, realistically, it should be perfect for attacking football. But neither side seeming to be able to string together any sequence of passes. And here we go, Riverina with their opportunity to card it out. And it looks like the man Rumble taking that one forward. The big-bodied centre. So continue to roll on forward.
Bad play the ball there, no boot to the ball.
Terrible play the ball, and they've been really, really strict on that in this competition so far, and that's just an absolute coach killer, that one inside the attacking half. And Penrith, if they can just keep the ball in hand here after, it looks like they'll kick the touch and attack inside the 20, they'll be short price to get across the line again. Here we see Billy Scott. He'll take the tap. Gives it off. That's Hutchings. He's just come onto the field. Encouraged on by his dummy half to get the quick play ball, but he's taking his time getting up. Good ball there for the 21. That's Newland. They've got the numbers on the right-hand side here if they can swing it quickly. Katoa gets it. Gives it out to the fullback. Oh, he's beaten the first defender. Oh, no. It's gone backwards, has it? No. They've called a knock on there. All he had to do was catch it and dot it down. He had 10 metres of space. It was great work by the fullback, Gosh. But the winger here on the right-hand side, Jesse Hudson, just couldn't reel that in. He couldn't have had it much better unless it was gift-wrapped. Looked too good to be true. Certainly did. While they packed this scrum, another great opportunity to thank our wonderful sponsors that are bringing us this competition. SLE, Worldwide Australia, Anytime Fitness, and of course the providers of today's live stream, Bar TV Sports, bring you all the sights and sounds here live from St Mary's Stadium here in Western Sydney. Riverina will have the feed to this scrum through Bobby Jones. The ball's out and they quickly use it to the right. And again, it looks like that man they're using as a battering ram for most of their set pieces. Rumble takes it into contact. Penrith defence doing really well, but maybe a little too well. Not quite sure what he's saying here. He's saying, oh, they've shot up too quickly. I thought it might have been the markers not square at first. It was a bit of a mixed signal, I guess. As they go again through the front rower. And they cross the 40 now, Riverina. That was Norton Fraser cut out on forward. They go out the back through Jones. Ozzy. Oh, he's done well. Oh, just Penrith being really forceful with the contact up around the ball, and Riverina finding that pressure a little hard to handle as we see Barrett Hancock spill that one. It's a looks like a pretty smart tactic that's paying some rewards for Penrith so far. Yeah, Riverina starting to look good there, getting the ball through the hands. Penrith just stood strong and great tackling causes a spill. Yeah, it just seems like no one seems to be able to string together more than two passes at any point, so might be a little note from the coach at half time just not to push those passes and just go the two passes and take it into contact. I mean, Riverina haven't completed a set in probably the last 4 or 5. Their completion rate would be under 50%, so I certainly think there'll be some work to be done, and their coach Troy Ryan will have that message at half time, I would have thought, which only 3.5 minutes away here in this Andrew Johns Cup fixture, as again Penrith spill the ball. He's getting up claiming it was stripped, but he only sort of made one appeal, which makes you believe that it might have just been a hopeful one rather than a factual one. And at Riverina we'll have again another scrum. The scrum count is mounting here. More scrum count than we do points here today, Chris. Yes, it's getting close. Only a red-hot Panthers attack that might have the points mildly in front of the scrums, but we're packing again, and hopefully we can see Riverina Bulls complete this set. As they go to the left through Corcoran. There's that man that spilled the last one, Barrett Hancock. He hangs onto this one as he crosses the 40-metre line. And they come back to the left again. There's Corcoran. He gives it off to Hutchings. He's pumping his legs a few extra metres. That's some great post-contact metres from Hutchings. Bring him around again to the blind side. And again, it's that man, Barrett Hancock. But again, a turnover. He's not having his best day out, Barrett Hancock. Penrith, they're on the attack here through Hudson. The referee clearly called out the left side there. They were way too eager to get up Riverina, and again giving away another crucial penalty. Errors and discipline are absolutely crucifying the Bulls here, Chris. Certainly is. I think the referee's been pretty strong with his calls today. I can definitely hear him from here. Yeah, his communication's been nice and clear. There's no excuse. I mean, we're another 20 metres away, so we could hear it. No excuse for the players not to hear it. As we see, one of the try scorers from earlier in the day, Aarons, carts this one up to the 20-metre line before he's driven back a couple of metres by the Bulls' defence. They go to the left. That's Katoa. He gives it off. That is Pomale. He throws a loose pass. Again, the panic passes in contact just aren't required, as we see Taki cut that one up and straighten it up, and they take it to the 10-metre line here. And the players all over him again. Probably could have got away with playing some advantage there, the referee, but again, as you said, he's setting a clear edict on what he expects in these games. And again, Taki takes that one up. He's pulled down a couple of metres short of the line. Looks like they're set both sides here. Which way they go? They go to the left. That's Bunting. The defence is up quickly on him. He runs out of space and he just takes that one into contact. Again, looks like they bring it back to the right here. They go out the back. That's Katoa. He gives it off to the centre. That's Leota. But again, a spilt ball seems to be the theme of the day. They just can't complete. Again, Penrith in a prime position there, and Riverina will have what should be the last use of the football in this first half, this Andrew Johns Cup fixture here at St Mary's Stadium in Western Sydney, and they've got 90 metres to go if they want to break their duck in regards to scoring, Chris.
They do. Riverina very deep in their own 10 metres here. Got a lot of work to do if they're looking like getting up to put some points on today.
That's exactly right, and again, referee Pat Allen takes control and resets the scrum. They're not going to have too long to do it either. They're going to have about 30 seconds by the time the ball emerges. They go to the right-hand side again through that man rumble. It's a pretty simple move that they get. Very easy to read. Every time there's a set piece, they seem to go through him, and he's starting to feel the pinch. He's blowing a little bit there as they cart it up again through the 18, which is Riley Norton-Fraser, the Wagga Brothers junior. I'll tell you what, it's actually looked good since Corcoran's moved out of that dummy half role and moved into the halves. He's taken a bit of control, and before that it looked a little bit disorganised, so he's been a good addition as they kick early. Interesting choice here as half-time goes. Oh dear, juggle. And he goes into touch there. He might have been fortunate. Nearly backfired on the Penrith player there. He couldn't get hold of it and nearly paid rewards for the Bulls, but it's half-time, and that'll be the Bulls going in trailing 16 points to nil against the Penrith Panthers, and the Bulls had a fair bit of early possession in the opening 10 minutes, but Penrith, they've certainly gone on with it in the middle stanza of that half, Chris.
Yeah, they have. I think Penrith do look the better side at the moment, but that was a good finish to the half by Riverina. Good completion to the set.
Yeah, I think their coach, Troy Ryan, will certainly be looking forward to the break to take an opportunity to remind the boys of his early instructions, and hopefully they can get back to their game plan and score the first try here. So that'll be the half-time break. We'll take a bit of a break here, and we'll rejoin you in about 5 to 10 minutes with the second half of this Andrew Johns Cup fixture between the Riverina Bulls and the Penrith Panthers from St Mary's Stadium here in Western Sydney. We're back here at St Mary's Stadium in Western Sydney for this Andrew Johns Cup fixture between the Riverina Bulls and Penrith Panthers. About to get back underway for the second half. Just waiting on the Penrith Panthers team to take the field. They currently lead this Andrew Johns Cup fixture 16 points to nil. And they've certainly been the dominant side so far, capitalising on almost every time they've had the ball in their opposition half. And we'd expect more of the same in this half. The first try in this second half is going to be crucial, Chris Longworth.
Yeah, hoping Riverina have got a good talking to at half-time there. Pretty vocal down in the sheds. Hoping to see a different side come out this time.
Yeah, we certainly will. And as we said, big second half here for these sides. We talked about it before the game. The winner of this really keeps themselves alive in the semi-final race of this Andrew Johns Cup Country Rugby League representative competition. Again, the competition brought to us by the great sponsors that we have on board, which is SLE Worldwide Australia, Anytime Fitness, and of course the wonderful providers of the sights and sounds of the competition, the live stream providers, Bar TV Sports. Referee Pat Allen checks with both captains, blows his whistle, and he gets us underway for this second half here at St Mary's. It's a towering kickoff. It's taken cleanly there by Hurst. And that looks like McInerney with the ball, I think. And the fumbles continue. The first half was riddled with them. The second half begins on the same note. It's not a good omen for the Bulls. Chris handing over the ball to Penrith just over 10 metres out from the attacking line. Yeah,
prime position here for Penrith, and we've seen what they can do when they're given opportunities like these. I expect to see a little bit more of the same.
Yeah, very mobile, edge forwards and centres, the Panthers side. Plenty of physicality, so we expect to see them attack those sort of side channels and see what they can do here. See Bunting feed the scrum. He comes to the left. A bit of a juggle there from Riley Backs, who we didn't see too much of in the first half. Forwards are bunched on the right, and that's the way they go. As they're brought down, it looks like that was Tute brought down just inside the 10-metre line. They bring it back to the left. And that's Tacky brought down just short of the line. He looked like he wanted to reach out but couldn't quite get there. They come to the blind side through Bunting. The missed pass. The Bulls' defence is swarming, but he's beaten 4 or 5. Can he get the ball down? Great work there from the right winger from the Bulls to hold him up one-on-one after he'd beaten about the first 4 or 5 defenders. Ali Sara, he was looking for a double there. I think he thought he was there. Now they're pinned to this left-hand touchline. They'll swing it back to the right. Oh, bounce past the Bunting. That wasn't ideal. Goes to 16. Pamali. They're set deep to the right here. It's the last tackle. Will they go the kicker? Will they go the hands? Bunting looks to pass, kicks it in behind. A nicely weighted grubber. Oh, looks like Katoa's batted that down and it's gone dead, so we'll have a 20-metre restart. Hard to make out at first. There's a cluster of players around, as you'd imagine, with the ball rolling into the in-goal. Katoa just couldn't quite reel it in, and the Bulls with a 7-tackle set to bring it out of their own half. And that's Merchant. He's got through plenty of work so far today, carting it up to the 30. Dylan McCartney trying to utilise a bit of footwork. West Wyalong player. A great spreader representation in this Riverina side, Chris. We've got players from Wagga, Yenda, Albury, Cootamundra, West Wyalong, Young. It's really good to see a good spread across the country areas, but it makes the logistics of getting a side like this together for training and games quite difficult.
Yeah, good style competition, brings people together from all different areas, makes this competition quality.
See a towering bomb there, come down, wobbling down, but the fullback from Penrith, makes no mistake. He set early and took it cleanly. Now Penrith look to bring the ball out of their own half. Looks like Tareke there with the ball. Scooting out of half is Chapman. He makes some good metres and he continues to pump the legs. Picks up nearly 20 metres on that tackle. Set to the left here, that's Bunting. Drops it back under. Hutchings. Scott into dummy half. Goes to the right. A little bit of a fumble. Given off again. Tautua, he's got through plenty of work and metres. I stand corrected, that's Pamali, sorry. Hard to tell those two apart. And they're on the attack here. Bunting with the missed pass. He goes to Elisera. That's Gosh on the wing. Beats the first. And that was the last tackle. And they turn it over in the corner. They haven't been afraid to chance their hand by running on the last tackle of the Panthers.
Plenty of opportunities in attack. Starting to show the hand that they've got more than one play to go to.
Yeah, they've certainly got a few options, but it looks like the Bulls might have got a bit of a defensive pep talk in the half-time break. Hopefully they can have a holding the ball pep talk as well, but no, he drops it. Commentator's curse. Yes. He looks a little bit confused. I don't think he thought he dropped it, but I'll tell you what, I haven't seen Pat Allen make a mistake yet with the whistle, so I'll keep backing him in until he does. Yeah,
quality officiating so far by all three officials out there.
It's been a great job, and it's been something that's been a noticeable thing in this competition so far, the games that I've covered. The refereeing standard's been really high, which is really good to see. Certainly it hasn't always been the case in some of the junior representative footy, depending on what referees were appointed in years gone past, but it's great to see a really good standard with these development squad referees. As we see the Panthers, they're on the attack now. They're only a metre out from the line. They go right. That's Katoa. He drops back under to Aarons. He's looking to get his arm free. Manages to keep his feet and get a quick play of the ball. Right. Referee Allen wasn't happy with that one. He's telling him to take it back and play it again. I'm not sure what the issue was there, but set. They go back to the left again. They go out the back now to Katoa. He goes to Bunting. Bunting goes to Hutchings. Hutchings gives it off to Elisera. And there you go. Gosh doesn't make a mistake this time. He dots it down in the corner. The Panthers extend their lead. 20 points to nil they lead over the Riverina Bulls here in this Andrew Johns Cup fixture. Just first time today probably we've seen a really good string of passing from one side of the field to the other, and Gosh made no mistake. He's moved from his fullback position to the wing and he dotted that one down.
Yeah, quality set up there by Penrith, and through the hands, through the back line, they seem to find numbers, overlapped with the Riverina side and got some points through it.
Yeah, they've looked strong as they've taken it to each edge, and most of the time they've looked to take it into contact on the edge, and it just sort of compressed the defence a little bit. They decided to take advantage, swung it wide, and Gosh went over untouched, dotted it down just inside the touchline, and he'll certainly have a tough kick this one for Bunting. He missed his last one from out wide, but while it's still on the same side to us, it's the opposite side of the field, and it's the more favoured side for the right footer.
I'm not going to back him in this time. He wasn't only lucky last time he had my vote.
Yeah, well, that should be good for him to get it across then, I reckon. It'll certainly be a tough conversion attempt from a little bit less than a metre inside from this western touchline in the northern end of St Mary's Stadium here in Western Sydney, in the home territory of the Penrith Panthers. It's a great facility they've got here at St Mary's for this fixture, and the pitch is looking in magnificent condition as well, so great to have the opportunity to bring the footy to a ground that no longer gets top level footy. And he's hit that. He's made no mistake. So the perfect length on it. Nails that one, mate. 20 points to nil, Chris, and he certainly seems to have your measure.
Yeah, so he doesn't want me backing him home for any more kicks today, so I'll keep those comments quiet.
Yeah, no, he's done a great job there. Nailed that one, Bunting, and that extends the Panthers' lead out to 22 points to nil. We have 22 minutes remaining in this second half of the Andrew Johns Cup fixture here at St Mary's. Again, brought to us by the great sponsors, SLE Worldwide Australia, Anytime Fitness, and of course Bar TV Sports. As Riley Seraphin gets us back underway. And that's a 17. Taki carting it forward and getting a great play of the ball. And Penrith are able to capitalise on that with a great scoot from Billy Scott as they take it out over the 30 for tackle 2. And again, they're lining up in the droves for Penrith to cart this forward. Their forwards, they're very keen. That's our first try scorer, Elisara. He makes nearly 20 metres in that run. He's been strong, Chris.
Their forwards is rolling forward here, creating a lot of momentum for their halves to take control and send it wide here with a kick.
Yeah, Katoa kicks it into the corner. Again, a well-weighted and well-placed kick. The chase is strong. They've got numbers down there. And they pin David Oddie into the corner there. He's had a lot of work to do on some of these early kicks. We see Jack Little scoot out, and he's got the penalty. He's done a great job there. Little by name and little by nature. He's a tiny winger. And the Bulls, they kick down and find touch just short of the halfway line, and they really need to capitalise here. They've got a lot of work to do if they to get back into this fixture.
Yeah, apart from giving that penalty away, I thought Penrith have looked very good since they've come out in the second half. Let's see what Riverina have to offer now.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And there's that man that got us back underway, Seraph, and the Ender boy carts it up almost to the 40-metre line. Just a different intensity when they got the ball in hand. Riverina just don't look to have as many enthusiastic players lining up. I mean, it can too be the exposure to, constant, NRL pathway coaching that Penrith would have access to that makes the difference in those sorts of resets and things. But, they won't make any excuses, Riverina, and Brody Merchant carts that one forward and gets him inside the 20. Starting to look like a bit better shape here. There's good feet there at the line by young Dylan McCartney, and he's proving a handful to pull down. Yeah, just a second effort there at the end of that tackle by Tarike. And he gives away what could be a costly penalty. And Riverina with a whole new set here just out from the line. Looks like someone might have been given some feedback here to the referee. I can't see any other reason for him to stop this here. Just a chat, I would have thought, to the young Panthers and tell them what is and what isn't acceptable and explain that he's the man in control. And as we said before, he's been doing a really good job. He's controlled it. He hasn't blown unnecessary penalties. He's just let the game flow when it has flowed. It's been few and far between with a lot of drop ball, but
yeah, very quality here. I think that talk perhaps could have waited till after this set. But we'll see what Riverina have now.
Yeah, again, some dancing footwork from McCartney. That's a really silly penalty straight off the back of the first one. Offside. The Penrith Panthers. Crucial error again and again. Riverina with a fresh set inside the 10-metre line. And this time it will be Roworth to cart that one forward. That numbers on the left here if they can use it quickly. Penrith readjusting, but not quickly enough if they use it. It's out the back. Oh, great shutdown defence by the Penrith winger there. They come back to the middle. That's Merchant again. He's got through a lot of work today. Probably been the pick of their forwards. They're set deep on the right here, Riverina. They go out the back. Oh, it's missed everyone there. They have to scurry. It's how Tua dives on that one. He picks it up. Can he go all the way? He carts it over the 40, but he's brought down 43 out from his own try line. Penrith now with a roll on. Another great run there by the Panthers. They'll continue to roll forward here. That's costly for Riverina. They're in prime attacking position, and now they turn it over, and Penrith already in the attacking half. That's Taki. He's carrying the ball in two hands, but he's brought to ground. You see Tareke into dummy half. He gives it off to Scott. He takes one forward again. Now we see Chapman push Tareke out of dummy half. He gives it off with the ball around the toes to Katoa, who grabs it in behind. Can the bounce to Aarons. Oh, he gives it off back inside to that kicker, Katoa. That's a great piece of football there by Aarons. Katoa goes over. He dots down in line with the black dot, and that extends Penrith's lead out to 26 points to nil. Some great first touch handling there from Liam Aarons, Chris.
Oh, perfect play by Penrith there. Look beautiful here live. I feel for Riverina, they're looking very good up the other end. Then a costly mistake from pass from dummy halfers and led to points for Penrith.
Yeah, you just can't give these Panthers a sniff, and that'll be all she wrote here. I can't see the Bulls coming back now. It was a long way back if they had scored then when they had the ball in attacking position, but to turn it over and Penrith go 90 metres to score, just, not ideal for the Bulls, obviously. That goes without saying, but Coach David McKinnon will be very happy with his Panthers, and they're capitalising on those errors, but he'll also be a little bit frustrated by those two penalties that gave Riverina the prime field position to start with.
Yeah, I think their discipline could have hurt them on other days. Today is not the case, it seems, but that'll be something they'll talk about after the game.
As we see Bunting lining up his fifth conversion attempt of the day. He's 3 from 4 so far today. His last one a brilliant sideline attempt that went straight over. This one, you'd back him in from here. I won't ask your opinion. You've been none from 2 on his last 2, so we might leave him well alone, Chris. He's sets. Takes his time. Takes his step back, comes in, makes no mistake, and that extends the Penrith Panthers lead out to 28 points to nil over the Riverina Bulls here in this Andrew Johns Cup fixture at St Mary's Stadium in Western Sydney. As Penrith have showed their last 2 tries, we've been talking about it all day. It's perfect weather for attacking football, and finally some things starting to stick. They got a good bounce there on the kick, but Aaron's did some beautiful work just to almost bat the ball onto Katoa, as Katoa followed through on his own kick and set up a beautiful try for the Panthers. Now Riverina will kick off again to them through the boot of Riley Seraphin. It's taken there by the try scorer, Katoa. He gives it off. That's Tacky that takes it into contact. And again, the forwards are lining up. Oh, a bit of a juggle there from the Panthers. That's the 2 Tereke. He's coming in for a bit of work now. And there's the go-to man, Tautua, who dived on that last one and managed to cart them up towards halfway. Pamali, he's making some big metres. They just keep rolling on these Penrith forwards. Again, the early kick. The winger's up to this one, though. Peaver, he's back there, the Yenda boy. And he carts this one back to the 30 for tackle 1. That's Benjamin Rumble from Cootamundra. He carts it over the 40. Possibly lucky to get away with a flop there, Penrith. They slowed that one down a little. And here's the big bumping front row, Cody McInerney. Has that one stripped? I didn't think that he dropped it.
Blatant penalty there. Definitely more than 2 in there.
Yeah, silly penalty there, Penrith. That would have been tackle 3 right on halfway. And but now the Bulls, they'll get a fresh set. And the fresh player has just come on in Joshua Code. Carts that one forward. He's got the mop of hair, almost an afro. As we come out to the right here, skipping sideways is Dylan McCartney. He looks to use his footwork every time he gets the ball away. Corcoran's been impressive in a side that's struggling a little. And again, McCartney with the ball in hand. He skips off that foot. That's play on. That should be 6 more. That was a one-on-one strip for mine.
Yeah, mine too. No call yet.
Interesting to see, but no, he hasn't called it, so that's all right. Oh, there it is. Yep, he's all over it. We should know better than to question him. Oh, there's a bit of juggle there. Oh, I fancy this might be a knock-on from Penrith. Yeah, he's seen it that way. So it went back through the hands of Riverina, and Riverina with another set. Probably fortunate again. The left centre just couldn't quite hang on to that one. Travis Barrett Hancock. And it was nearly another chance for Penrith to go length of the field. Now Riverina, they'll set. They've got a scrum, 12 out from the attacking line here. Can they break their duck? Feed the scrum. They come to the right through that man we just talked about, Travis Barrett Hancock, and he's put it down again. He's had an absolute Barry Crocker today, the poor young fella. It hasn't been his day. Sometimes it's not your day, Chris.
So it seems it's like me calling Bunting home with his kicks.
Exactly right. I think he's actually managed to catch one, though, so you haven't called any kicks yet, so we might move on with that, though, as they cart the ball forward again. Easy metres up the middle for the Panthers forwards here. They go to the right, to the short side. Leosa. Even the edge players, the second rows and centres are making metres here. As they go across the halfway line. That's the man Aaron's there. He's got a try and a try assist to his name. He had plenty of points if he was in Supercoach. He continue to come back to the left. That's Bunting. He gives it off to Tereke. He beats the first one with footwork. Shrugs off a couple. Bounces out of that tackle. He's a slippery customer. Finally get him down to ground for tackle 5. They come to the left through Bunting. He used the hands. And again, we've got Gosh here. He gives it back inside. And that looks like a dotted over again. That's Elisara with his second try of the day. Just simple hands there. Completing the passes, getting them on the outside, and then just popping the inside ball back in. And Elisara dives over to extend the Penrith Panthers lead. 32 points to nil. They're having a field day on this left edge, Chris.
Yeah, they are. Riverina looked to have the numbers there, but just couldn't contain the attack and got some points out of it again.
It's again what we talked about in the first half, those one-on-one first-up tackles. They just either seem not to want to make them or not to want to commit to them, or when they do commit to them, they're just getting bounced out of. So, yeah, that'll certainly be I'd suggest a working point for their final round fixture next week. And again, Bunting, after seeing his sideline conversion, you'd be a brave man to back against him here. And for want of not wanting to jinx him either way, we might not ask your thoughts on this one. We see Riverina making another interchange there. That's their 6th interchange of the day. And as we said, Penrith leading this Andrew Johns Cup fixture, 32 points to nil. Today's match is brought to you courtesy of the sponsors, SLE Worldwide Australia, Anytime Fitness, and of course the live stream providers, Bar TV Sports. As we see the half for Penrith's Andrew Johns Cup under 16 side, Tyler Bunting lining up for his 6th conversion attempt for the day. And he hits that one, but he's pushed that one across the face, so that leaves him 4 from 6 for the day, and it leads the Panthers to a 32 points to nil lead currently over the Riverina Bulls, with 11 minutes remaining in this Country Rugby League under 16's Andrew Johns Cup representative fixture. They've certainly had the best of the running so far, the Panthers, but they've made it look easy in what's been an impressive performance in this game, Chris.
Very impressive Penrith second half. The talk they had at the half-time break there has put them in good stead for this half now. We'll see some more points, I'm sure.
Certainly has, yeah. You'd be brave to back against them. I wouldn't think they'll be putting the queue in the rack at any point. They'll be looking to continue to build on what is a resounding margin at the moment. And again, they cart that ball forward, making plenty of metres. Looks like the try scorer, Elisara. He's been great. A little scoot out of dummy half from Chapman. They've looked dangerous all across the park, Penrith. It'll be hard. Kicks it through. I think Katoa might be in front of the kicker here. Yeah, certainly. And that's exactly right. He's inside the 10. He was a long way in front. And touch judge Braden Hunt has tipped off the man in the middle, Pat Allen, to that fact. And again, kudos to the refereeing team out there. They're doing a great job. And Riverina again with an opportunity to push down towards the halfway line. He's kicked that onto the roof of the grandstand. He probably could have picked up a few more metres, but they find touch about 35 metres out from their own defensive try line. That'll be Corcoran taking the tap. And they cart it forward almost to halfway. Oh, Corcoran puts that one around his toes. That's some stinging defence from Taki there. They drive him backwards. He'll be feeling that one for a little while to come. Joshua Code, I would have thought. He's a little bit groggy as he gets up. And again, they're really showing some intent in defence here. Leota that time on Otti. And now probably the workhorse Merchant. He's been getting through plenty of metres, but he drops that one. And looks like we've got a knock on both ways. Riverina again struggling to complete their sets. It seems every time they do something positive, Merchant making some good metres there, but just losing the ball in the tackle.
Yeah, drop ball errors still creeping in this half. Hopefully it'll be something they can look at for their next fixture.
Yeah, certainly hasn't been ideal. I wouldn't like to see their completion statistics. I think I'd wager a guess that it's a bit under 50% for Riverina, if not even lower than that. And you're not going to win games of football with completion rates under 50%. Penrith here, they take the scrum feed, 35 out from their own line. They cart the ball forward. That's Puru with the ball in hand. Probably had the least ball of any of the Penrith forwards, but it's not for lack of chasing it. As Bunting, he gives it off. Scott to the man with the double, Elisara. He's been impressive, and he continues to bundle forward there. Now they swing it back to the right again through Bunting. He gives it off to Puru. Tackled there about 15 short of the line. Gets a quick play of the ball. They go to the right again. Bunting. He goes to Katoa, to Aarons. Leota. He just strolls through the defence. Absolutely spectacular ball movement by the Panthers. Simple stuff done well. And Leota dots down out wide on the right-hand side to extend their lead further out to 36 points to nil. They're really starting to get those passes gelling now, Chris.
Yeah, they look like a team. They've played a fair few games together and they've found some quality attack.
Yes, they've been strong in attack. They're attacking those edges well. They'll bring it one way and then take it back the other. And it was just smooth passing there that opened up the space for Leota to stroll over untouched. You probably could have put 2 or 3 players through that hole. It was quite a gaping hole, but Leota did what he had to. I've seen plenty of opportunities in the first half go down with as much open space as that one. And now we'll see Bunting line up for his 7th attempt of the day from his less favoured side. He's over there on the eastern side of St Mary's Stadium as the Penrith Panthers lead this Andrew Johns Cup fixture 36 points to 0 over the Riverina Bulls with the kick to come. Just over 6 minutes remaining in this one, and be interesting to see what the message is in that Riverina Bulls huddle at the moment. I assume the Panthers one will just be to continue on with much of the same. Riverina probably looking just to take a positive out of this and hopefully cross the stripe and break the duck egg, as it's called, as colloquially referred to. You see Bunting, he strides around, he sets himself, he takes a long pause in his stance. He's done that on each of his kicks so far. Very composed with his kicking style. Draw back a step and a bit. He comes in, he strikes it. Pushes it across the face there. Couldn't quite nail that one, and leaves the score. Penrith Panthers 36 points to the Riverina Bulls 0. He hasn't had the best last couple of kicks, but doesn't miss them by much. Bunting, he's doing a great job off the tee. And now the Bulls will unfortunately hand the ball back to the Panthers again for their cause as they make their final 2 interchanges of the day. And again, it'll be Riley Seraphin to get us underway, and they mix it up and go to the left-hand edge this time. Get the bounce. Penrith driven back. That's probably the first bit of intent we've seen in defence. Looks like Penrith now going forward. Now they get the roll on. That's that try scorer, Leota. He's coming in for some work, and he keeps going barnstorming run going forward there. Keeps pumping with men on his back. Players line out both sides. Another one of the try scorers there, Aarons. He gives it off on the right. They're on the outside there. That's Ethan Hutchings out on that right edge. He struggles to stay in the field of play. He pops it back. It's dived on by Jaden Chapman. He gives it off. Leota lining out for another run here. He's getting through plenty of work. He's getting excited after getting across the stripe for his first. Now they go through Katawa. That's Bunting. Back inside to Puru. That brings him to the 10-metre line. That's the 5th tackle. And plenty of numbers set here to the left. They've paid a lot of dividends going to the left. And oh, dear.
I think we may see talking to here from the officials.
I was going to say, he's going to have a chat here. As much as I feel that he's probably going to gain some control by it, he probably could have rewarded Penrith with a quick tap there, and they were ready to go straight away. This will slow him down. I don't think it'll stop him too much, but yes, referee Pat Allen just having a bit of a chat here and laying down the law, probably suggesting that if there's too many more penalties in this zone, that he might have to have a look at some stronger alternatives, which would be absolutely fatal, I guess, for the Bulls side.
Yeah, it would be. He's been very consistent there, Pat Allen, so he's had a great game, as we've called the whole time.
Certainly has. Now looks like Penrith will take the tap. They go to the right. That's Tacky. Tries to struggle over the line. He draws in a handful of defenders. Quick play the ball, and oh, that's soft. That is soft defence. Jaden Chapman just almost falls over from dummy half, adds to the Panthers lead. That extends the Penrith Panthers lead out to 40 points to 0 over the Riverina Bulls with a kick to come. And Riverina, that's just the body language and the effort there just probably sums up their day, Chris.
Yeah, it does. Chapman, good vision there from dummy half. Slid straight through. No one touched him. Very disappointing from Riverina.
Yeah, it's one of the first things you learn about, especially club football, let alone representative level, is you need to have markers being alert, and probably one on a knee there just next to the ruck just to stop those really simple things happening. And as you said, credit to Jaden Chapman. He saw that there was no one at home next to the ruck, and well, as I said, almost fell over. It wasn't even really a dive. He just dotted it down. They were so close to the line. Been a very clinical performance. They started a bit slowly, the Panthers, in the first half. They got into their own in the middle of the middle 10 minutes of that first half, and they've really gone on with the job here in the second half. And this will put them in prime position to contest for a semi-final berth in this competition as the final round comes upon us next week, before the semi-finals at the back end of the month, and then the final, I think, in the first weekend in April of this Andrew Johns and respective Laurie Daley Cup competition. Of course, this match will be followed by the Laurie Daley Cup Under-18s Country Rugby League representative fixture between these same two teams, the Penrith Panthers and the Riverina Bulls, thanks to Bar TV Sports with the live stream. So stay around for that one if you've been tuned in for this one. As Bunting comes in, he hits this one. The touch judges like it, and that extends the Panthers' lead out to 42 points to nil, and puts him up over the 50% mark with his goal kicking for the day. And you'd be a brave man, Chris Longworth, to back against Penrith getting across the stripe again here in the final 2 minutes of this Andrew Johns Cup fixture.
They look real quality, this Penrith side, in this second half. And Riverina look to have crept over in front of the kicker there.
Certainly have as Elisara picks it up, and he interesting move there. He gives it off to the halfback to take the hit up rather than taking it in himself. Oh no, it's not the halfback, sorry, it's Tereke, the fullback. Now they're lining up. There's Elisara. Tackle probably crept up a little bit, but the referee's happy to let that one go as Penrith continue with their momentum. As Taki carts the ball forward. He'll look to get to his elbows and knees here and get the quick play. The ball not quite, but they're on the attack here. Bunting looks for an early kick, kicks it down to the corner. It's been a really successful tactic for them. And they'll look now just to play this one out in the defensive half for the Riverina Bulls. A great kick there from Bunting. He's had the ball on a string in general play when he has kicked it.
Yeah, kick's put them 10 metres out here with the scrum. That was a good pinpoint to the corner there.
Yeah,
gives them a lot of space here.
Gives them an opportunity just to work on a final defensive set, which is obviously, a key thing to work on in these situations, I guess, for games that are a little bit closer as well. So, again, just about working out how to control and play out a game in this situation, which is good maturity from a young half. Just to see if they can defend this one out here as the clock ticks down to about 45 seconds by the time this ball emerges from the scrum. You see William Hurst feed it. Oh, again, a loose pass. It goes to Jack Little. They carted it out there. Oh, he's busted the first tackle. He's got the offload. That's some great play. Where's this adventurous play been from the Bulls earlier in the game as we see Code take that one into contact. And again, that man, William Roworth, lines up for another run. Looks to get his arm free, but he's brought to ground. Gets a quick play the ball, though. He's done well. So they go to the right, but the right edge attack had overrun that well and truly. They look disappointed with their ball runner, but they were well in front of him. He couldn't do too much there. See Otti, he gives it off. Penrith defence do well. Oh, that's a terrible pass. Probably lucky to get away with that. And indeed he doesn't. Touch judge gives him the call. And that'll be all she wrote here at St Mary's Stadium. Penrith Panthers comfortable winners, 42 points to nil over the Riverina Bulls. Pretty hard to pick out some best players for Penrith. It was an absolute team effort. I know that's a cliche, Chris, but they lived up to it as a unit today.
Yeah, from their backs to their forwards, everything was clinical. Forwards took them forward and halves took the points.
They certainly did, and Penrith Panthers again run out winners, 42 points to nil. That keeps their semi-final hopes alive. Probably spells the end of the Riverina side in the semi-final race, but both sides will have another fixture next week. We'll take a break here from St Mary's Stadium and we'll return in a moment with the under-18s team lists for Penrith and Riverina. Welcome back to St Mary's Stadium for this Country Rugby League representative fixture in the Laurie Daley Cup. We'll be underway in a few moments in the under-18s match here between the Penrith Panthers, the home side, and the Riverina Bulls. The team list for the home side: Penrith in the 1 jersey, Jackson Whitty. In the 2, Jamie Davison. In the centres, in the number 21 is Christian Lee Mai. The other centre in 4 is Mitch Owen. On the wing in 5, Braden Duncan. 6 is Braith Alexander. 7, the captain, Connor Mason. In the front row in number 19 is Jai Winbergen. The 9 is Trent Borthwick, the co-captain. 17 in the other front row spot is Isaac Papali. 11, Cruz Tweedy. 12, Caleb Carroll. 13, Peter Hansen. The 14, Hayden El Baye. 15 is Riley Bax. The 16, Bert Takula. 18, Osman Momo. And the coach is Robbie Taylor. For the Riverina Bulls side, in the maroon and yellow, their fullback is Corey Wilson from Gundagai. The 2, Blake Wood of Yenda. The 3, Thomas Jenkins from the Young Cherry Pickers. James Morgan's the 4 from South City. Joshua Elworthy is from Yanko Wamoon in the 5. Jacob Lucas, the 5'8", in 6. Thomas Fattore from Darlington Point, Colliamberley in the 7. Reece Mitch in the 8 from Albury, and Reece Weldon in the 10 from South City are the props. William Hills is the hooker from the Cherry Pickers. 11 is Cody Collins from Yanko Wamoon. The 12 is Johnny Smith from Leeton. 13, Jacob Crossley of Wagga Brothers. And the reserves, 15, Steve Anderson. 16, Jeremy Wiscombe of Albury. 19, Bryce McNoney. And the 20, Cameron Lyons of South City. They're coached by Joseph Humphreys. The referee for this fixture will be Bryce Hotham. The touch judges, Braden Hunt and Cara Lee Nolan. The Panthers have taken the field, and we now see the Riverina Bulls run out, led out by their 11, Cody Collins. In the preceding Andrew Johns Cup fixture, it was the Penrith Panthers running out winners 42 points to 0. Hopefully this fixture will be a little bit more of a closely contested one. I'm joined by Chris Longworth. Hopefully a bit more of a contest in this one, mate.
Yeah, looking hopefully we get a good game of football out of these two teams. Good day for it down here at St Mary's.
Certainly is. Nice and cool, and a nice dry track. So looking forward to seeing a bit of quality football. Hopefully a bit less of the drops than the last game, but yeah, certainly a good fixture on our hands, as most of these representative fixtures have been thus far in the competition. This is, of course, is round 4 of the Laurie Daley Cup. And it looks like it'll be Penrith Panthers to bring us underway from the boot of Jackson Whitty. As things currently stand, Penrith are second in this pool, the southern pool of the Laurie Daley Cup. And Riverina, they've had a win, a loss and a draw from their 3 games, and they're sitting 5th. So crucial game for both teams. For Penrith, obviously, to keep in the mix, and for Riverina to push back up into the semi-final race. It's a towering kickoff, and it's spilt from Riverina. That is not the start they would have been looking for. Penrith dive on that, and they'll be on the attack early. That was Peter Hansen in the 13. Looks like the referee's called a double knock-on there, and Penrith will have a scrum feed to start this one.
The theme of drop balls continued, Chris, from the first game. Hopefully it doesn't go too much longer.
I was going to say, hopefully it doesn't carry all the way through this fixture. See Penrith on the attack here. If themes are to continue, we'll expect to see Penrith score early. They go to the right. That's the 5'8". That's Alexander. I wonder if he's from the famed Penrith Alexander family. They come back to the left. It's taken up by Caleb Carroll. Takes a number of players to drag him down. He's 5 out from the line. You've got plenty of options set here to the left. There's Alexander. He gives it off to Mason. Out the back. That's Whitty. Well, Mitch Owen just overran that one a little. And there's the first penalty. Too long in that ruck there, and Riverina will need to defend another whole set here. And they said it'll be Borthwick, the co-captain. He taps it, gives it off to Hansen. Mason with the players set to the right. That's where they go. He goes out the back to Alexander. The short ball. That was Caleb Carroll, but it was read like a book by the defence. Goes short to the front rower, Jai Wingbergen. He can't quite barge over, although he's attracted a number of defenders. Have to play this one just short. Plays it back to Borthwick. I don't think that's where he was looking. He went to Whitty. I think he was looking for Alexander. Whitty set. Alexander's got his outside players set to the left. There they go through Mason. Mason goes himself. He takes on the line. Can't quite reach out for the try line. They go back. Alexander on the last. He rolls it in. It's come off the boot. Oh, looks like the referee said not played at. Probably a little bit unfortunate there. Rolls another one in Alexander. Oh, he lacked a bit of intent with that one. They weren't quite sure what the right option was. And now Riverina with an opportunity to bring it out of their own red zone. Reece Mitch looking quite strong there with that carry. Oh, another great carry. A bit more intent from the 18s and the 16s for the Riverina boys in contact. Making some post-contact metres. As they kick from just outside the 40. Sits up there for the Penrith fullback Whitty. Takes it quite close to the sideline. They try and drag him across, but they can't quite get him there. And certainly feel a step up in intensity from the Andrew Johns Cup fixture, this Laurie Daley Cup fixture.
Yeah, a bit more intensity here. Riverina defending well so far.
Certainly are. Some simple one-out play, and that's a bumping hit from the Riverina boys as they upend Kristen Lee Marr. They go to the left here. They've got numbers. Mason can find it. Oh, he dummies. He shows and goes. He crosses the 50. The fullback to beat. He can get the ball. Oh, great one-on-one tackle from the Riverina fullback, Corey Wilson. Oh, I stand corrected. That was actually Blake Wood, the young cherry picker. That's Alexander taking it into contact. So I'll have to go to the half Watson here on the last. He takes it high. Chase comes through to contest. Bit of a mix-up there. I'm not quite sure what's happened. It looks like Penrith have knocked that forward to their own player.
Some good attack and defence from both sides here. Kicking under pressure was good from Mason there. Unfortunate on the last.
Certainly was. See a scoot. Oh, they're driven back. Great work in defence there from the 19 for Penrith. Jai Wingbergen, he's looked really strong in defence and he's forced the error there. Again, case of drop ball. Will it come back to haunt Riverina here? Penrith with prime attacking position. Have a scrum just outside the 10-metre line. And they're set well to the left here, and they certainly look to have some strong ball handling skills early, and they'll look to utilise this ball and utilise the full width of the pitch, I think.
That's right. I think Alexander here to feed the scrum. Mason set deep off.
There he is, Alexander. Now Mason. He likes to show and go himself, and he does that again. Riverina are awake to it this time. He doesn't slice through. Come to the left again. Alexander. He gives it out the back. That's Mitchell Owen. He's beaten the first couple. Bounce off another one. He's eventually brought down by a few defenders there. Only 5 out from the line. Some forward set to the right here. See Hanson cart that one in. Only a couple of metres short now, right in line with the posts. Options both sides. They go right to that man Alexander. He decides to show and go himself. Can't find the space to get through. Back to the left, the short ball to Wingbergen. Great defence from the Riverina side. He gets the offload free, but Borthwick can't quite grab hold of it as he tries to pick it up at his toes, and it'll be possession to the Riverina Bulls. A scrum. 10 out from their own line. Again, Penrith, it's a reverse of the first game here. Penrith not being able to capitalise on the early possession and territory. Hopefully that doesn't come back to haunt them, Chris.
Yeah, plenty of drop ball here. Riverina attacking from tenure.
And speak of the devil, there it is again.
Another drop ball.
Put that down, James Morgan. They just sat there for him. He had too long to think about it.
Yeah, I don't think he was looking at the ball when he received it, looking further where he was thrown, and he's coughed it up.
Yes, not ideal there, Riverina, and they'll be forced to defend another set here. The defence has been strong so far, but can they continue to hold out? Man, Alexander feeds a scrum again. Borthwick at Lockie picks it up. No, they bring it back. Probably good anyway, because he's thrown it straight to Mason's feet.
Yeah, it wasn't a good pass. He'll get a second attempt at that.
Certainly will.
Riverina look to have numbers out here as well.
I just can't seem to get this scrum right. It's always perplexed me in this modern day of scrums that don't do too much, how they can't get it right. It's not a complex thing. You know where your head's got to go, put it there, get the ball in, get it out. Oh,
differential.
And referee Hotham's obviously of the same opinion. It's not a differential penalty, actually, because it's for back chat. Come on, mate, you refereed enough. You should know the difference between a penalty and a differential. There was no wiggle of the arm there. He wasn't waving to us up here in the grandstand.
I thought he was just saying g'day.
He drops it back under to Isaac Papali, and he just barges over, easy as you like, right next to the uprights, and that opens the scoring. 8 minutes gone here. The Penrith Panthers lead 4 points to 0. Great individual try through Isaac Papali. And the Panthers lead 4 points to 0 with a kick to come as referee Hotham calls time out, and he's calling someone out here, and I dare say they'll be getting a firm speaking to.
Yeah, costly penalty there by Riverina. Gifted that try to Penrith there.
Yeah, the weight of possession eventually told for Penrith, and Papali just too big and too strong to stop from short range, and we've seen plenty of players with that same surname do similar things from similar distance, both Josh and Isaiah, the Raiders and Warriors respectively, so I don't know if it's a connection, but certainly carrying the surname well, and in a similar, he's cut from the same jib, if you will.
Yeah, it looks like Riverina just got a chat to there from the referee, and
yeah, the skipper
doesn't look too interested to get back too quickly.
Cody Collins, yeah, probably told by the referee to go back and speak to his team, which he undoubtedly will not do. They very rarely do, but
and he didn't.
Penrith leading this Laurie Daley Cup fixture 6 points to 0 after that successful conversion from Connor Mason. And of course, today's fixture is brought to us thanks to the sponsors, SLE Worldwide Australia, Anytime Fitness, and of course the live stream providers bringing you the footage today in the dulcet tones of myself and Chris. Bar TV Sports, they do a great job of covering live streaming and sports, not just across Australia but worldwide. And doing a great job of bringing all these Country Rugby League fixtures, every match of the Andrew Johnson Laurie Daley Cup live streamed courtesy of CRL and Bar TV Sports, as Penrith storm the ball forward off that kick-off to their 20-metre line. And they get the quick play of the ball, but the marker's away to it, and it's been spilt. That was great pressure from the marker. Dummy half took a little bit longer to react than he probably should have, and they capitalised on that, Chris.
Yeah, great vision there from the Riverina side. They'll get the ball back here with the scrum.
There's alert there at marker.
20 metres out.
It's another lesson that it pays to actually watch what's going on out there. Riverina in prime position to get a quick reply. First time they've had the ball, really good quality ball in the attacking half. Penrith still can't get this scrum right. The former coach of mine used to say, it's not rocket science. Stick your head in there. Go on the attack, Riverina. They bring it out here through what looks like Thomas Jenkins. No, it was James Morgan, sorry. They go to the left here. Almost a hospital ball there from the half for Torre. He's got the offload away in contact there with the skipper. And Riverina now only 5 out from the line. They go to the left. They use the hands here. It looks like he's just barged over there and couldn't quite get a number on him. Might have been the 3, Thomas Jenkins. I'm not too sure.
It's just from Penrith not wrapping up with the ball when they're making tackles.
Yeah, exactly
Riverina
right. Letting that second phase play operate, and it's come back to bite him, as we said. It's all come from that great work at marker previously. So the Panthers still leading 6 points to 4, but a kick to come. be a difficult conversion attempt for the man. Again, struggling to identify these numbers. They're a little bit hard to pick up on some of these Riverina jerseys from a distance. Riverina with a quick response there, Chris. We might have a bit of a game on our hands here early in this Laurie Daley Cup fixture. It's 6 points to 4. The Panthers lead, as I said, with the kick to come. About 11 and a half minutes gone here so far in this match. It just shows pretty much whoever's got field position or territory seems to have the upper hand at the moment.
Yeah, that's right. Close competition compared to the Andrew Johns Cup. Wait and see what it brings.
So you see the kick. Comes in, but can't quite swing it around. And he's unsuccessful, so that leaves the score. Penrith Panthers leading 6 points to the Riverina Bulls 4.
Take the Bulls on to 4, with the Panthers on 6.
I think at this stage we're going to give that try to Thomas Jenkins, the left centre. Until someone corrects us otherwise. Did well again, just showing that when those passes stick, it is good weather for some attacking footy. Penrith will get us back underway through the boot of Jackson Whitty. Again, kicks high. Taken by the Bulls on the 10-metre line as they cart it forward. Some good metres there as he heads towards the sideline. On the march. He's across the 30 there on tackle 2. Great little scoot across the 40. That's Jacob Lucas. Strong run there. Looks like Jacob Crossley. Kick goes through. It's well read. Braden Duncan returns this one. He brings it across the 20. Goes into contact. He's found his front. Can he get a quick play of the ball? Shrugs off Jacob Lucas. Looks like the back's getting in for some work here for Penrith. Riverina getting plenty of numbers into defence, but they can't bring him to ground. Again, Lucas in there. Showing some great line speed in the middle here, Riverina, to put the pressure on Penrith. To see Papali, the try scorer. That's Cruz Tweedy with the ball now, carting it up towards the halfway. Pulled down just short of halfway. Play it here as Penrith make their first change. Players might be a little bit in front of the kicker here. They might be in a bit of trouble.
Chase has looked in front. Given the all clear.
Winger pulled out. Now scooting there is Morgan, the South City player. He's a big-bodied centre. Makes plenty of metres each time he takes it into contact. Keep going to that left edge. Across the halfway there. Continue to go to the left. Early kick. Dived on by Whitty. Takes it into touch, I think.
Good pressure from the Riverina side there on the kick chase.
It was a great chase. It was well communicated. That's what was on. You quite often see those early kicks and no one else seems to know what's going on. But
Penrith are taking in a touch. We'll have a Riverina feed.
Yeah, certainly will. And Riverina with another set of prime attacking possession. Can they capitalise on this and take the lead in this game? Looks like we've got the wingers, the left wingers come infield here to eventually take this one up, but no. They take it around the back. Little trick play there from Riverina, makes some good early metres. Not an ideal pass, but he's done well with that. If he can... Oh, Morgan, he's bombed that when it's not on, it's not on. And he's trying to claim that he threw it backwards into the Panthers player, but referee Bryce Hotham's not having a bar of that. He's saying he's lost it forward into him.
No control when he passed. I don't think that was needed at the time.
Yeah, exactly right. Sometimes if that pass isn't on, you're better off just taking it into contact, try and get the quick play the ball. I mean, they still had 20 metres to work with if they got the quick play the ball, and Penrith would have either had to adjust or over-adjust, and if they over-adjust, you just send it back the other way. I guess that's the joys of experience, and it's much easier done from up here in the commentary booth, mate.
Most definitely.
Oh, Great tackle there. And they got down Riverina. The pressure there from Blake Wood put a brilliant shot on, which forced the mistake. And Thomas Jenkins gets across for what is his first try. He wasn't actually the first try scorer. We'll wait to get confirmation on who was. But Thomas Jenkins, he's done great work there to carry a couple of players over with him, dive over and extend or open up the lead for the Riverina Bulls for the first time today. They lead 8 points to 6 over the Penrith Panthers with a kick to come. Riverina now with another difficult attempt at conversion. He's a little bit closer in than he was for his first. And he's probably got the benefit of the learning that he's had from that first miss, and see if he can turn that into success here and extend their lead. Currently the Riverina Bulls 8 points, lead the Penrith Panthers 6. About halfway through this first half, and certainly been an attacking half of football so far. It could be Jacob Lucas. You could be right, Chris. I think it is. And he's learned from that first one. He nails that one. It is indeed Jacob Lucas. And I think he may have been the first try scorer as well. So that takes his personal tally to 6 points. And the Bulls open up their lead to 10 points to 6. As I said, as we've reached the halfway mark of this Laurie Daley Cup first half between Penrith and the Riverina Bulls. Again, brought to us by our great sponsors. The major sponsor, SLE Worldwide Australia, the official partner, Anytime Fitness, and of course the broadcast partner, bringing us the sounds and sights of today from St Mary Stadium, Bar TV Sports. Without these great sponsors, none of these competitions would happen, and it's great to see the opportunity, as we talked about during the Andrew Johns Cup fixture, for these country players to have the opportunity to represent their home areas and not feel the need to travel to Sydney to have their pathways to the NRL and future careers in rugby league. As we see Whitty lose his footing as he kicks that one. He might have a bit of a bruised tailbone from that one, a bit of a chuckle from the crowd. And Riverina will take that ball in on the 20-metre line. Continue on the attack, the Bulls. They're, of course, partnered with the Canberra Raiders as their NRL club partner, which is great to see. Canberra looking after a lot of that Riverina and Southern Highlands areas as a nursery for them. They've had many great products, including the man this competition's named after, Chris, Laurie Daley. As we see Lucas kick it from inside the 40. It's a 40-20 attempt if he can find touch. It might be a bit too big. Just couldn't quite find the touch line. And Whitty tries to go centre field rather than taking it straight back at them. And he could be driven back into the in-goal here. Great effort from the Riverina defence, but he's just in the field of play, referee Hotham calls. And he's lost the ball. Another crucial mistake by the Penrith Panthers inside their own red zone. And the Riverina Bulls will have another set in absolutely excellent attacking real estate, Chris.
Yeah, well, excellent defence there from Riverina. Pushed him back and didn't give up. End up with the result. Nice scrum here, 10 metres out.
Certainly did. It might have been interesting if Whitty had held on to that, because Riverina weren't letting go of him. He might have actually ended up with the reverse side of that being a penalty to him if he had just held on to that ball and not let it go. I guess he was probably in the struggle. Oh, we see the wraparound. The big winger can't quite get there. He pinned his ears to the corner. He's a big-bodied winger, is Blake Wood. As we see Johnny Smith carting it up. He gives it off, and the no-look pass there from Fattore. Lucas ends up diving on it, but he's under a lot of pressure by the time he does. Now we've got James Morgan carting the ball forward. They've got some big outside backs, this Riverina side. Well, set again to the right. Johnny Smith out wide could be the danger man here if they can get the ball to him. Lucas, Grubbers, he's regathered. That probably should be 6 more.
Yeah,
the referees have absolutely nailed that one. That'll be the 0 tackle. Oh, barnstorming number 2, Blake Wood. Runs more like a second rower than a winger, and he storms over, takes 2 defenders with him, bursts through them, and puts it down to extend the Riverina Bulls lead out to 14 points to 6. That's his second today, and it'll be a much easier conversion attempt for their 5'8", Jacob Lucas. The Bulls starting to get on a bit of a run with the momentum here, Chris.
Yeah, looking good. Fattori's put it on a plateau for him there to go over and score. Looking very good all over the parky, defensive and in attack.
They certainly have. Both these last 2 tries have come from key defensive pressures. The first from a marker who was awake at the ruck and managed to put the pressure on the dummy half who dropped it. Then this one just from a great kick chase. The fullback took it into contact about 5 out. They drove him back. We're trying to force him back into the in goal, and he was just trying to struggle to get free, and he lost the ball. And again, it set them up for a prime attacking position, and they made most of it. Something their under-16 side couldn't quite do in their early possessions, and the 18's Laurie Daley Cup side showing how it's done, and they've opened up that lead to 14 points to 6 over the Panthers with a kick to come.
Good. Jacob Lucas here lining up, and he's put it over the dot. Another 2 points to the Bulls. That will make it 16-6 to the Riverina Bulls over the Penrith Panthers.
Yeah, the Bulls opening up that lead now here at St Mary's Stadium out in Western Sydney, the home of the Panthers junior representative sides. And Penrith with a bit of work to do here. They're certainly not out of it, far from it. But they've got some work to do, and they'll want to be the side that scores next. They're just waiting for the tee here so that Whitty can get underway again. I noticed him just patting it down there, hoping that he doesn't slip over again, I'm sure. And he'll probably bring us underway with another one of his trademark high swirling kickoffs. Bit of miscommunication there, but Smith gets hold of it eventually. And he'll play it for tackle 1 there. It's a bit better defensive effort so far in this set from Penrith. They're getting quite quick play, the Bulls. As we see Cody Collins roll that one forward in the 11 jumper. That's the left centre, Thomas Jenkins, coming in for some work. He's got some good feet and he's strong. Great offload there. It's going to be a foot race here. He hasn't quite got the pace there. Looks like Harry Fitzpatrick, the young cherry picker, but they've got the numbers to the right here. Yeah, I was going to say, that marker tried to replicate what Riverina had done before, but he was standing well to the side, and again, the referee's right on the money. They're doing an excellent job here, the men and women in yellow. And Riverina again on the attack.
Yeah, simple error. They didn't need that to give that away there, Penrith.
They certainly didn't. That all came from the great work from Thomas Jenkins. He made that break, got away the offload. Harry Fitzpatrick couldn't quite outpace his chasing defenders, but they've done well. He got the quick play the ball and they've earned themselves a penalty. And they've elected to take the shot for 2 here, and you'd back Lucas in here and he'll look to extend this lead to 2 converted tries and just take their time and compose themselves. Something we're seeing more and more of now. Teams really looking to take the 2 when they get the opportunity in, lay down Mazare territory. So we see it coming down from the NRL level. I mean, in years gone by, teams with that much of a roll on where they just march downfield, 60 metres would have looked to continue their attack, but take the points when, almost guaranteed points when they're an offer, Chris.
That's right. If he gets this, he'll put them 2 converted tries in front. So probably a good decision with just over 10 to go in this half. Certainly
will. And they'll get another set of possession from the kickoff, which is obviously a benefit. So we see Lucas come in, stabs it low and flat, but it goes across the crossbar. That extends their lead out, as Chris said, to a 2 converted try lead. The Riverina Bulls 18 leading the Penrith Panthers 6 with just under 10.5 minutes remaining here at St Mary's Stadium in Western Sydney. The home side really with their work cut out for them as they trail by 12 points here, and this will be a crucial defensive set, and discipline might be a key factor in that as we see Whitty mount the ball on the tee. A little bit lower kick-off. He slices that one out wide, Whitty. Doesn't get as deep either. And Riverina will be tackled on tackle 1 just short of the 30-metre line. Just mixing things up with his kick-off there. They go the short side. That looks like James Morgan taking a scoot, possibly. No, it's Lucas. The 6 jersey. Those numbers really are hard to make out as they go forward almost to the halfway line on tackle 3. Lucas goes out the back. Also Reece Mitch. A set here, that's Lucas. Gives it on to Fattore. He kicks through. Well-placed kick. Oh. Only for a loose hand there for Morgan to manage to pin him down. He could have been away there, Braden Duncan. Oh, he's beaten the first two. Again, Morgan the man. Penrith starting to get a bit of momentum and a roll on here in this set. They keep picking out James Morgan in defence. He doesn't look like the sort of bloke I'd want to run at. That in the 19 is Jai Winbergen. He's been strong early on here. He's back out for his second stint. They go at the back. To the half, Connor Mason, he kicks through. And there's that man with the double, Blake Wood. A very stockily built winger. Runs it up more like a second rower. Almost like a Kyle Felt style of build. If you're going to compare him to an NRL player. As we see Josh Elworthy take that one in. And back's coming in for some work here late in the first half. There's Thomas Jenkins. He's been electric so far. Every time he's touched the ball, looks like something's going to happen. Out the back there, he had all day to think about that one for Torre. And they're just kicking it straight down the middle, and Whitty carts it back, brings it back over the 30. Considering how much time he had with that kick, he didn't probably get the result he wanted for Torre. You see Mitch Owen striding forward. He picks up another 10 metres. Another scoot there. The marker's just napping. Oh, breaks through. Ducks under one there. A little bit of loose arm. Borthwick, and he earns the penalty. Referee Hotham just saying that Johnny Smith taking a little bit too long to get to his feet in the 12 jumper there.
Yeah, great vision by Trent Borthwick. Followed the offside player through. Found some great metres and ended up with a penalty.
Certainly did. Now Penrith, as we head into the last 7 minutes of this first half, they're in prime attacking position with the ball 23 out. That'll be the try scorer, Isaac Papali, and he bumps off a couple and strides forward to the 10-metre line. Go to Watson. Out the back to the 18. That's Momo. And he almost reaches out, but the Riverina defence does a great job to drive him backwards. Pulls him down, a matter of inches short of the try line. A slow play the ball. Go out the right. Oh, it's a panic pass. Whitty fortunately cleans up. He's going to have his work cut out, though. He's dragged down there by Thomas Jenkins. Now they find themselves 18 metres out. Alexander off to Carroll. He takes into contact, tries to drive forward to the 10-metre line. Brought down just short. That'll be tackle 4, I think. Set to the left here. Alexander out the back. That's where they go. He goes to Mason. Mason grabs it in behind. Oh, the bounce. Oh, he's done well to reel that in. Braden Duncan sat up for him. He juggled it a little. The bounce was a little too much for Joshua Elworthy, and Penrith with a great try in the northwestern corner here. They hit back. They trail 10 points to 18 with a kick to come. Riverina Bulls still in control of this one, but Penrith right back in it. That was a great rugby league try there. Just a classic little grubber in behind. The bounce beat the defender, and he had a little bit of work to do, Braden Duncan, Chris, but he got it down, juggled it, and got it down inside the dead ball line. Yeah,
it was a great recovery there from Braden to get on top of it, and he's got in the corner there. Just set the kick up here for Connor Mason, about 5 metres from the sideline.
Certainly is 5 metres in on this grandstand side here. Got the home crowd behind them now, Penrith. They're up and about. It's actually quite a decent crowd in here today, which is good to see for these fixtures. They will be followed, of course, by the women's and under-23s Country Rugby League representative fixtures. As Mason strikes that, he strikes it well, but just doesn't quite bring it back. There's no real wind, so the score remains the Bulls from Riverina leading 18 points to Penrith 10. 5 minutes remaining in this first half. Penrith starting to gain a bit of the momentum back, and this game's right in the balance, Chris.
Yeah, there's no clear leader at the moment, although 8 points in front with the Bulls. Penrith are still looking decent.
Yeah, certainly anyone's game from here. If Penrith can get the next try, if they could nab another one before half-time, wow, that would be send us to half-time very evenly poised as Riverina get us back underway through the boot of Lucas. That's Momo carting it up. He's got that stand out, the short dreadlocks, the bleached short dreadlocks. Certainly a unique look out there. Great offload there, and again, there's that man that scored the first try on the attack, Braden Duncan. He's pushing forward. He'll take it over the 40-metre line. Does well to stay in the field of play there. And Penrith in prime attacking position on tackle 1. As we see Papali, the first try scorer for the Panthers. He's on the march now, takes up to the 30. Opportunity here, no, they go to Mason. There's Momo again. He's getting his hands on the ball plenty, getting through plenty of work off the bench. He's an imposing looking character. And another penalty here.
Yeah, that was blatant from Riverina there.
Yeah, just a silly, silly penalty. That's the sort of stuff that sends coaches' hair grey, and I'm sure Joseph Humphries will have something to say to his player there at half-time with the break not far away. Penrith now on the attack inside the 10-metre line. Momo looks to go through as a decoy. They go out the back to Mason. He goes to Alexander. He dummies and runs straight into contact. It probably wasn't on the outside there anyway, so probably the right decision. They step back to the left. They're looking a little flat now, Penrith. Momo again. He looks for the tip on. He gives that there to Riley Backs, but...
Yeah, forward from Momo there.
Forward from Momo. And we're not in the best position to call it. It looks pretty flat to me, but again, we'll go with the guys in yellow. They've done a good job so far, and Penrith probably hand over what was some prime attacking position, but for the first time today when they've been in attacking position, they looked a little flat there. Looked like they didn't really know what was on, and sure enough, it forced a bit of a pass that the referees have picked up as forward, so just shows that a bit of communication and depth can go a long way as the Bulls feed that, but that scrum's a dog's breakfast, so referee Hoffman will call them back. And again, we'll have Fattore from the Darlington Point Collie Amberley Club feeding the scrum. It's in, it's out. They go to their go-to man, Thomas Jenkins. He shrugs off one, but he's brought down by Caelan Carroll. Go to the blind side there with a bit of a scoop from Corey Wilson. Looking a little bit flat. They're starting to tire a little bit, the Bulls side here. Not making as many metres as they did early in this first half. But they will continue to go on the attack here as they forwards roll up their sleeves and cross the 40. That's a better run. That looks like Reece Mitch. He's had some good runs today. Tip on out the back. Then a kick. That's an interesting play. Looks like a fine touch there, which won't be the worst result with just over 90 seconds remaining here in the half. It'll probably mean that Penrith will just get one set here once they come in for the scrum. Crucial here to make the first up tackles and no silly penalties for Riverina. They've been guilty of both of those things not being the case in recent defensive sets. Penrith, they'll be looking to go 82 metres to score here and put the game right in the balance as we head into the break. See Mason feed the scrum. He goes to our previous try scorer, Braden Duncan, who's gone infield looking for some work, and he's quite strong in contact. He makes a couple of metres after the first contact. They set to the right here, but yeah, they go to Alexander. Oh, a juggle and a drop there from the man in the long white skins. Looks like it might be the centre out on the right-hand edge. Yeah, Momo, silly penalty there. Took the man without the ball. He didn't miss him. He'll look twice before he runs the next one, even though he's taken out without the ball there, I think. Interesting to see. And yeah, they'll take the 2 again here, and that'll shoot down the clock, the Bulls. They want to extend the lead out to hopefully 10.
Yeah, just silly errors again. Penrith gave away silly errors. Didn't need that then.
No, certainly didn't. It wasn't even a hit on suspicion. It was just a hit for the sake of hitting Momo. And as we said, Lucas will have a shot here, about 23 out. Probably about 4 or 5 metres to the left of the post here. No real breeze to speak of, so it should be a relatively easy kick. As we hear the siren for half-time go in the background. Will extend their point to 10 points. They extend their lead, to 10 points if he can convert this. Penalty attempt. Just doing the right thing, making sure his players stay behind him, because obviously they can chase through here if this misses. Just really needs to make sure if he does miss, that it goes dead, so he has to strike it well. And he's missed that one, and it has gone dead, so the score will remain at half-time. 18 points to 10. The Riverina Bulls leading the home side Penrith Panthers here at St Mary's Stadium in Western Sydney. We'll take a break now and we'll rejoin you for the second half in about 5 to 7 minutes. As we said, Penrith trailing 18 points to 10 in this Laurie Daley Country Rugby League Cup. We'll join you again shortly for the second half of this fixture. Welcome back to St Mary's Stadium here in Western Sydney for the second half of this Laurie Daley Cup Under-18s Country Rugby League representative fixture between the Riverina Bulls and the Penrith Panthers. Riverina currently leading the fixture 18 points to 10. And they probably had the better of the running of the first half, as the scoreboard shows. But Penrith, they came back late in that half, and looks like we're going to have a belter of a second half on our hands.
Yeah, I think so. Riverina seem to be just front, but Penrith are coming back. They're looking good late in the first half there. So we'll wait and see what the second half brings.
Yeah, hopefully we can have a cracking first half and a second half and a great finish on our hands. As referee Hotham gets ready to get us underway. And we're brought underway by the Riverina Bulls. They find the turf with this kick-off as young Alexander, he gives it off to Bert Takula, who's carrying about 5 defenders forward, almost all the way to the 30-metre line with a barnstorming run there. Penrith rolling up the sleeves early. That's Isaac Papali. He was one of the try scorers in the first half. He's been a strong contributor so far. And there's a great benefit to the Penrith side, a penalty for offside against Riverina. I'm sure, Chris, that the Riverina coach, Joseph Humphries, would have been talking about discipline. They gave away a number of silly penalties in the first half, and yeah, that's not the start he would have been hoping for.
Nah, disappointing start very early in the second half, giving away offside penalty of all things.
Yeah, and we see Penrith now. This is the exact start their coach would have been looking for, as Momo goes on the attack, gets him inside the 20-metre line. He's a standout figure out there with those bleached short dreadlocks, and that is a woeful attempt to play the ball. So the negative, I guess, of when you stand out with a unique hairdo is you stand out and look good when you do something slightly good, but when you do something bad, everyone remembers too.
Yeah, Paul played the ball there, lifted it up in the air, didn't even play it with the boot.
I don't even know if it was a play the ball, looked like he's throwing it back to the quarterback. But we'll now see the Bulls with an opportunity to bring the ball out of their own half, and Penrith will be ruining that missed opportunity inside the attacking 20. And here they come through their centre, James Morgan. Their centres have been a standout for them so far, Chris. James Morgan and Thomas Jenkins. James Morgan, the strong runner. Jenkins a bit more slippery as we see him take the ball on, but they've been really good so far.
Yeah, quality outside there. Both of them running with the ball strongly, finding some good metres when needed.
Continuing to roll up sleeves. Some strong contact there from Bert Takala. See, Riverina interesting making a change. Only 2 minutes into this second half.
Nice deep kick there.
Certainly was. Whitty with a lot of work to do. He brings it out of his own in goal, heads towards the 10-metre line. He's going to try and go around them, but all he does is find the right shoulder of Johnny Smith.
Slow play the ball there, 10 metres out from Penrith.
Braden Duncan there waiting for a long time at dummy half, and casts that one back, but he's driven back onto his back by the Riverina defenders. But gets a penalty for his work and managed to get away with a nice little slap in the face there as well.
I think discipline may end up costing Riverina if we continue down this path.
Certainly is, but Penrith, obviously, you can have as many penalties as you want, but if they can't complete these sets, it's going to be quite key. Post-contact metres again for Penrith as they march on here. He's picked up 10 metres after the initial contact. That's great work there by Papali. He's been strong. Connor Mason on a jinking run. The Penrith halves don't mind taking the ball to the line, and they do that again. Here's Papali onto Momo. Got Riley Backs in support there. He's looking for it backs, but Momo had no interest in anything but barging forward. Play the ball much better this time from Momo. Alexander toes it through. Oh, the bounce. Alexander regathers his own kick. The players are taking each other out. There's players on the ground left, right and centre. So judges have gone in. They're happy with it all. Look good. Alexander got a great bounce there and goes in to take the match to 18 points to 14 with a kick to come the Panthers to get within 2. And he might be in relation to the Alexander family, because he certainly showed the skills of similar to that of his namesake Brandy Alexander, Greg.
That's right. The bounce there just cost Riverina in the end, and Alexander there to pick up the scraps and claim his try from kick.
Might end up costing them more than a try here. There's a couple of players looking a little bit groggy down there. They had one player, unfortunately, as he turned for the kick chase, tripped and went to ground, which I think was Lucas. And then they had two players collide as they went to try and clean that up. And it just sat up for Alexander. He had all day once that sat up, and there was no one near him. He ran it round and dotted it down. And now Connor Mason has the opportunity to bring them within 2. And that he does. That brings the score to Riverina Bulls 18, Penrith Panthers 16. And we've got a game on our hands, Chris Longworth.
Yeah, quality's starting to come to the top now. Both teams showing what they have.
As you said just before, discipline is going to be crucial in this game, and either side giving away penalties. The other side will capitalise. They've both shown the ability to use the ball and make large metres in a set. We've seen plenty of sets of 60, 70, 80 metres made. So you cannot be affording to give away extra possession. As we see Corey Wilson kick off and bring us back underway. There's Momo.
He's a strong runner of the ball.
He is. He bumps forward there. Bumps off the first attempt. He gets an extra couple of metres. It looks like Riley backs with the ball. He's been looking for work. Oh, but he's turned it over. Not only discipline, but silly errors in places like the play the ball could become costly. And now Riverina with a chance inside the attacking 40. Interesting to see what they look to here. I would not be surprised to see them use one of their centres or possibly the stocky winger Blake Wood off this scrum here. Looks like they've got two options set up off the 5'8", Jacob Lucas. Got Wood deep and Jenkins, who's been quite slippery, out to his left. So see what comes of this scrum as Fattore feeds it. It's given to Lucas. Short ball to Wood. He shrugs off the first one. Pumps the legs. They come back. It takes 4 of them to bring him down in the end. And he's still somehow got a quick play the ball. That's a great effort from the winger. Laid the platform there. Scoot and offload. The feet. No, he's been pulled down just short of the line there. That looks like might be Mitch that's been pulled down. And some selfish play there as they burst out a dummy half. Tries to twist around and he drops it just short of the line. So we should have a scrum here, I think, to the Panthers. 10 out from their own line. And Riverina just, a bit of white line fever costing them there.
Yeah, waste opportunity, I think, there. Plenty other options, and they were looking good until that play there.
Yeah, certainly a big opportunity here in defence. They won't want to give away a penalty this time around. I think they've given away a penalty in the first 2 sets of defence they've had. Penrith have got 90 metres to go, so Riverina will be looking to hang on to this slender lead and build a bit of pressure with some solid defence. They take it forward there. Looks like maybe Davison with the ball. Come to the right through Alexander. And driving backwards. Just a mistimed run there, it looked like, from Cruz Tweedy. Now that's Tweedy with the ball. They look to make up for it with this one. The defence is on him quickly. Cronin, the key defender there. He stands out with his ponytail tied up behind him. As we see Takala take that one into contact. A little bit more intent in defence here from the Bulls. There we go. He's read that well, Morgan. He's shot up in defence. Couldn't quite bring Papali to ground, though. They look to kick. They take it outside the 40. It's a short and wobbly torpedo. Picked up on the first bounce there. Corey Wilson taking it into contact. And they'll be happy with that, Riverina. They've got the ball just short of the 40 as we see that man, James Morgan, we talked about just before, takes a quick scoop for 10 metres. And they approach the halfway line on tackle 2. Again, the other go-to man in the centres, Thomas Jenkins. He carts that one forward, almost to the attacking 40. They're rolling forward. Yeah, starting to see some changes roll on from both sides here. Another great scoot. He's done really good work. Whisk coming out of dummy half, but just to give him a wrap, he turns it over. And it looks like Baxett's dived on that. They come to the right-hand side. Good offload there by Davison. Borthwick shrugs off the first tackle. Can't run over the top of the next one. That's dummy half on dummy half. Whiskham with that tackle. It's a great one-on-one tackle. Here goes to Carla again. He's a big lump of a boy, he is. Now Penrith into the attacking half. Go out the back there, Whitty. Almost broke through that tackle, but just couldn't quite get himself free. Discipline again will be key here. Here's Papali. He's been strong. He beats the first one. Picks up, the offload. Couldn't quite find its target, but they've hung onto the ball just. Out on that left flank. Get driven close to the touchline. Doing everything they can to get him into touch there, but they couldn't quite do it. What's happened here? Oh, they've told him to go back and play it
again.
Must have called held a little bit earlier. It's hard to hear up here. We are a long way now from the action on that far side of the field. There's Mason. He goes himself, pokes his nose through, but can't quite break the tackle. That's tackle 5. Alexander's out the back. Will they go to him or will they use the hands? They do go to him. Oh, no, they've gone to ground. Alexander wraps around, gets it back, chips through. And that's made easy work of by Corey Wilson on the left wing. And now Riverina will look to work out of their own 10-metre zone. Blake Wood again, strong in contact, Chris. He just didn't even look like he was going to go into touch there, even though he's right on that blind side.
The 2 Penrith players just took him to ground, couldn't take him out. We see here with the Riverina centre in Jenkins.
Yeah, they certainly look to go through their centres and Wood quite a lot.
We've got a forward pass here from Riverina.
Forward half pass from dummy half, a crucial error. And now the Panthers, they'll be given the ball 28 out from their attacking try line and an opportunity to have a crack at taking the lead in this game. It's been a while since they've led the match. They scored the first try, but it's been Riverina on top on the scoreboard since then. The game itself seesawed back and forth, and Penrith's probably had the upper hand since probably about 10 to go in the first half, so probably for the last 20, 21 minutes of this match. But it's anyone's game still, this one, Chris.
Still very close. Penrith feed here. Connor Mason with the ball.
Yeah, he goes on the attack. He looks to use his left centre. Mitchell Owen. Looks like he thought that the 20-metre line was a trial on the way he dived there. Going for the quick play, the ball. Papali again, he's got through a mountain of work today, the big bopper. He takes it to about 4 out from the line. They're set with plenty of numbers to the right. But they go back to the left. Oh, dear. Might be lucky not to get away without a penalty there.
Yeah, I thought he shot pretty quick then, but...
I was more so talking about the offside on the player picking up the ball from the knock-on. Must have bounced backwards after it hit the deck. And Riverina, massive let-off there. Again, incomplete sets costing these teams. It's just about... It's a simple game at the end of the day, rugby league. Complete your sets and don't give away too many penalties, and you're halfway there.
Yeah, that's right. We've got the Riverina scrum here. Hopefully they'll be able to do something with it and take some field advantage.
Riverina take it out to the 20 there. A loping running style there from the 15. Steve Anderson. First we've seen of him so far today. Oh, bumping run there. Thought he'd nearly dropped that. It was just a juggle though. Come out of dummy half. They're heading towards halfway, and that's where they're tackled. Maybe tackle 4 by my count. Torre dummies before he kicks. He kicks it across and finds touch 10 metres out from the try line. The Panthers will have the feed there, and Riverina will look to use this just an opportunity just to regather some composure, I think, Chris. Starting to look a bit frazzled at times.
Yeah, they look like they've settled that well there. Just kicked it, found touch. Penrith wanted nothing to do with it. We'll have their scrum feed out of their 10 metres.
Certainly will. They made a few changes. It'll be interesting to see these few interchange players coming on and see how they settle into the rhythm of this game. It's been fairly strong intensity early on, majority of the game even. As we see Penrith bring that first one out. Alexander calling for the ball. He wants to go wide early. He gives it out. A little bit of a head clash there, and Riverina player straight away clutching his teeth. That's not what we want to be seeing. Get out to the 30 now. Yeah. Caelan Carroll just trying to steal an extra metre or two. No. Maybe it was 3 he was trying to steal, Chris. It's the oldest trick in the book, that one.
Momo with the ball. Yeah.
Momo going forward. He's still pumping, still creeping forward. 3 players on him. He's strong. They go to the left through Mason. He dummies again. He really likes to take the line on. He doesn't mind running it. And for a guy there's not too much of, he managed to carry an extra 5 or 6 metres, and probably needs to just get up and play the ball rather than trying to argue there. Alexander, I'd say most of the kick chase would be in front here. Oh, miscommunication, but I'd say that's gone backwards. Oh.
Look forward to me too. I thought the referee got that right.
Tough call, I think, but he's in a better spot than me. Yeah, they seem to be have a knack of colliding, these players, in trying to retrieve kicks. That's the second time 2 players have both come in on a kick and found each other, so a bit of communication probably needed from the Riverina team when they're going back for those kicks. Penrith now on the attack. 20 out from the line, looking to take the lead here as they trail 18 points to 16 in this Laurie Daley Cup fixture. 15 gone in the second half of this match. Alexander drops it back underneath. That's Tweedy with an offload. Alexander again. He looks like he stepped no one there, but was a bigger step than he is tall, and he's driven backwards. Borthwick at dummy half. He's been impressive so far. He goes to Kakala, but he's dropped the sitter. And again, it's the story of the day in both the Andrew Johns Cup and the Laurie Daley Cup fixtures. Players just dropping balls, not under pressure, just out in the open, Chris. It's just absolutely cruelling sides in these games.
Yeah, especially a close game like this one, Chris. All the errors creeping in is costing points.
It certainly is. It's the second or third time Penrith had the ball down here inside this red zone, and they've just spilt the ball or made a silly mistake. And we've seen it from a number of different players, and I'm sure that Robert Taylor's probably tearing his hair out at the moment. They probably should be leading this game by, 4 or 10 points by this point. But now we see Riverina on the attack. They're bringing it out of their own defensive half. They cross the 30-metre line there. They're looking quite flat, Riverina. I think they're tiring here, which might play in Penrith's favour as we go on.
Yeah, a lot of players walking in the background there from Riverina.
Certainly is. Reece Mitch takes this one into contact. Riverina with another interchange. That's their 5th of the day. 8.5 minutes to go here.
Jenkins again having a run. Backs putting their hands up. Not many forwards.
They've got through more hit-ups than the forwards, I think. Oh, that was a questionable pass out of dummy half, right in line with us. Gotten away with that one. As they head inside the attacking 40 now. It's the 5th tackle. They go to Lucas. He's going to look to kick. He'll go high. He hasn't gone far forwards. They let Jenkins have this one, but Lucas wraps around it but can't quite reel it in. Some helpful types in the crowd trying to give the referees and touch judges some assistance. I'm not sure they know what they're on about, sorry. But the referees nailed that one, and sure enough, Penrith deservedly got the ball from that knock on.
Yeah, it didn't look offside for me, so I don't know what our friend in the crowd was talking about.
No, very enthusiastic supporters, undoubtedly. Looks like Davison going into contact again there.
He's picked Jenkins out then and ran at the biggest spat.
And he's broken a 3-man tackle, and he's picked up another 5 or 6 metres, and he keeps going forward. Make that 8, make that 10, 12. That's great post-contact metres there from a winger. He's done really well, Davison. Now they go to the left. That's Mason. He loves poking his nose through. He's got his arms free if he can get the offload. He's got all of him free. He's reeled in again, though. Those first-up tackles really starting. Oh, there's the offload out the back. That's Borthwick with the ball. He's got support on both sides.
He's got
Gives it to Alexander. Comes out to the right to Carroll. And, of course, the key man, Jenkins, trying to wrap him up. But again, a broken tackle. Carroll barging through. Tries to get to the line, but he can't quite reach out. He's brought down 2 metres short. Borthwick, he bounces around, and he's dotted it down. There's about 4 or 5 defenders there, but none of them seem to want to grab hold of him. Looked like he's covered in spiders, you would have thought, the way they let him in. He goes through Borthwick, dots it down, and that puts Penrith in the lead, 20 points to 18 over the Riverina Bulls with a kick to come. Chris, it just looked like broken tackles and lack of interest in wanting to tackle there was the key to that set. Penrith's just on the march now.
Yeah, Riverina just gave up with that tackle. They thought he was held, didn't play the whistle, and it's cost them in the end.
Certainly didn't. They're, making some really strong runs, Penrith. There's a couple of times there where they had 2 or 3 players, and Penrith just didn't give up the fight. Riverina did, and they'd shrug off players, and sure enough, they take the lead. And Connor Mason will look to extend the lead from in front with this relatively easy kick, and it should be Penrith Panthers 22, Riverina 18. after Riverina led this one 18 points to 6 midway through the first half. It's been all one-way traffic pretty much since that point. Riverina just really looking a little despondent behind the goal line as Mason makes no mistake with that one. And as I said, Penrith Panthers now lead 22 points to 18 in this Laurie Daley Cup fixture. Chris, there's a long way back for Riverina from here. They really need to turn the tide.
Yeah, I think so. I think they need to find a second wind of energy here too. They look like they're out on their feet a bit. No forwards really putting up their hand for a run.
No, they certainly do look like they're tiring, and it's got to take its toll too. Jenkins and Morgan have got through a mountain of work. They've probably done as much work as any of the back and front rowers, but they're also doing stuff in defence as well as doing their job as a back. So you see Alexander take this kick, and looks like Jai Winberg coming off the back fence with some steam there, and he's taking it almost all the way back to the 40. Penrith just continuing to march on, and that penalty won't help the cause of the Riverina Bulls, and Penrith will take this ball into the attacking half here as Alexander looks to find touch. It's Tweedy on the march now. A little bit of frustration and little cuts of bits of niggle starting to slip in from Riverina. Penrith won't mind that. Here goes Momo. He bounced off the first one. He's dropped that, but it might have gone backwards. No. Referee Hotham's called that he's lost it forward first, so I'll let it off for Riverina there, and they really need to capitalise on this. They'd want to be the next team to score. Another scrum here. They're still inside their own half, and they've really struggled to complete their sets recently, Chris, so it's going to be crucial for them just to at least get to a kick here at worst.
Yeah, hopefully they can start to improve now. They're not that far behind. They might find the lead again if they can hold on to the ball.
Yeah, they're going to have their work cut out. We'll see what they can do here. Oh, dear. Jeez, that looked dubious at best. Looked like they half reached back into the scrum to grab the ball after they nearly lost it against the feed.
Both sides have had issues with their scrums here. Something they might have to work on.
Scrums in general, it's a mess. All right, the ball's out. That's Lucas. Goes out the back to Jenkins. No surprises there. Redwell and Tweedy and Alexander wrap him up, put him on his back. He rolls around to find his front. He'll get a decent play the ball here. Again, that first up contact not quite right from Penrith, and they pick up an extra couple of metres there, Riverina. They're looking to get a roll on now. How about they engage the defenders? And Reece Mitch there again, taking another hit up. Out the back, that's for Torre. Takes it himself because he's got no running options. That's really what we're talking about. There's just no forwards putting their hand up to take this ball forward at the moment.
They're all flat-footed now. None of them want that.
Exactly right. Anderson, he's rolling forward. He gets to the 20, and that's the last tackle. They're a long way out to really mount an attacking raid. See what sort of kick they can pull off here. Lucas.
Kicking for Jenkins.
High to the corner for Jenkins. He couldn't quite get it. Davison brings it back down. And now we'll see Kalen Carroll rolling up the sleeves and trying to bring it out, but he's pinned inside the 10-metre line. Alexander at half. He gives it off. A bit better defensive set here from Riverina. They need to stick this tackle, though. Get an extra man in, and the ball's popped out, and he's lost it. And Riverina with a prime opportunity to get themselves right back in this arm wrestle. They'll have a scrum about 11 metres out. Just to the outside of the goalpost here, almost centre field. If they've got a time to attack, now's it, Chris.
Yeah, that's it. Just 11 and a half minutes to go, just over now. So they need the points to put them in front. Carry on through.
Certainly do. They trail by 4. Game's still anyone's for the taking, though. If they can swing the momentum back here with a try. This Laurie Daley Cup Country Rugby League representative fixture, of course, brought to us by our sponsors, SLE Worldwide Australia, Anytime Fitness, and our live stream providers, Bar TV Sports. As we see Lucas go into contact there, it's Jenkins at dummy half. They go the blind side for Torre. He gives it wide. Corey Wilson, he's trying to reach out, but he's been pulled down just short. They go to Jenkins. Not much imagination in their attack. He somehow spun out of the tackle and got the ball down, and that'll make us all level. That's his second try today, Jenkins. And that brings us to 22 points all, with the Riverina Bulls with a kick to come. they'll have an opportunity to take the lead here through the boot, most likely, of Jacob Lucas. And that didn't look very imaginative, and it didn't look like it was on, but somehow Jenkins turned it into a try, Chris.
Yeah, it didn't look pretty, but Jenkins, the go-to man again there in attack and defence, has got them some points.
He certainly has. It just looked like he was sort of shaping up to go through as a decoy runner, and then the dummy half gave it to him, and he said, well, I guess I've got to do it all again myself. And, of course, he barged over, and the result is that we're all level here, and Jacob Lucas has an attempt to take the lead back in this seesawing encounter. With about 10 minutes to go, we're going to have a red-hot last 10 minutes. If it is level at the end of regular time, it is just a draw in this competition. There's no golden point or golden try. So, yeah, certainly this game now, anyone's for the taking. As we said, they are looking a bit more weary, probably the Riverina Bulls side, but they've capitalised on an opportunity there, and that'll certainly buoy their spirits as Lucas lines up this kick. Takes a step and a half back, comes in, dresses it, hits it. Oh, he's hooked it a little bit too far. He's not happy with himself there. He would have backed himself on his favoured side. But it remains 22 points all between the Penrith Panthers and the Riverina Bulls here in this Laurie Daley Cup fixture at St Mary's Stadium here in Western Sydney. Chris, with 9.5 minutes to go, who do you see being the keys to this one from here for the two sides?
Connor Mason from Penrith, I think. He's been great with ball in hand. Good direction as a halfback.
Yep, I certainly think it'll be, for Riverina, it's probably going to be one of the centres to break this one open.
They've been their go-to players.
Oh, that's a big kickoff. If he can get the bounce here, speaking of big bodies, Blake Wood's done a great job, the fill-in fullback, to reel that in there and not allow it to go dead, and then return it all the way out to the 10-metre line. Oh, and he's hung on to it too. He's juggled it a little bit. Strong scoot there. Looks like William Hills has come out, and they're switched on here. They're bringing it out, and Penrith are on the back heel. They're starting to make some metres here, the Bulls. No. Again, the referee tells him to go back. He's not having anyone stealing metres. As we see a great tackle there from Jai Winbergen on Reece Mitch. Now look to kick from inside the 40 here. Yes, and Whitty takes that easily on the full. You're able to cover the ground to take that. Now carts it back, and the intensity of this game has really kicked up a notch now that it's level, Chris. Yeah,
it's right. I think Riverina's starting to find a second win that we spoke of earlier. Jenkins there with the tackle.
Certainly is. Looks like it might be Jamie Davison, and he's struggling to get to his feet. That, of course, is Tweedy taking that one into contact. They go to Alexander. He goes to Momo. Momo, though, a little bit flat when he took hold of that one, and he's brought down on the 40-metre line. That looks like tackle 3, I think. It could be 4. We'll wait and see. There's Mason. He's that man you tipped. He pokes his head through. He's been keen to run it all day. Finds the offload back inside. But LBA cannot find the space there. Struggling to get back in defence here. And there we go. He knew he had to slow down the ruck, and he's paid the price for that. We'll see if we can get a number on who that was. It might be Mason, actually. Oh, not Mason, sorry, Lucas. And he's gone to the sin bin, which will leave Riverina short for the remaining 7 minutes of this game. And I would suggest that the Panthers will probably try and take the 2 here to take the lead. So it's an interesting conundrum, though. Do you, against the man short, try and back yourself to score, or do you just take the 2 and just nab the lead for now?
This will put them in front if it's successful, but I personally probably would have went score the maximum points. One player down, they had momentum.
Yeah, exactly right, but I guess that's why we're in the commentary box and we're not the coaches, though. So
2 points is 2 points, puts them in front if they do get it.
See if we can get a number on the player that's come off. I don't think we will, because he's only got his face towards us, so...
But that run from Connor Mason, then the offloads put them in position here.
He's looked to run a lot today, Mason. He poked his head through a few times. He's got an arm for a couple of times, but that was the first time he just sliced through. So he's done a great job. He's been amongst a number of really strong players for them, probably the best of their back line. His halves partner Alexander's been strong as well. Oh, he's hit the post. At least he's alert to that. Oh, we've got 2 balls on the field now. Oh, Referee might have taken a bit of issue with that tackle, I think. I'm not sure. I thought at first he was stopping the time because of the second ball on the field, but he's called the touch judge in. If it did go above the horizontal, it wasn't by much, but if he has gone above the horizontal, they've got to nip it in the bud. Can't have a lifting tackle. He's called out a player. It looks like he's calling out the skipper, Cody Collins, from the Yanko Wamoon club. I know. He's called out another player here too. Looks like it might be Cronin in the 23. Got to make out that number. It's either 22 or 23, so it's either Fitzpatrick or Cronin. They won't want to have another player. Oh, he sent him off. After the tackle's been complete, he's used his forearm, he said. Crazy scenes here at St Mary's Stadium as we're all level. But the Riverina Bulls now, Chris, reduced to 11 men for the remainder of this fixture.
Yeah, silly play, I think, there. I don't think there was a need for the forearm.
No, well, that's exactly right. They don't take these decisions lightly to dismiss a player from the field. I thought it might have been a lifting tackle, but he said he's used the forearm after the fact, so he'll have a judiciary hearing to deal with, and they'll now be down to 11 men. 13 plays 11 here, and surely after the last one they'll take the 2 points, or attempt the 2 points here, and hopefully he won't find the... I was going to say the woodwork, but it's metalwork now, so... What was it, 22? Fitzpatrick. Now we've got referee Hotham dismissing the trainers from the field. Having it all here. Trainers trying to argue their case. He doesn't want a bar of it though. Just under 5.5 minutes remaining. He waves time back on. Mason will be happy to take his time with this one. He makes no mistake the second time around. And the Penrith Panthers open up a 2-point lead. 24 points to 22 they lead the Riverina Bulls. Riverina now set for the kickoff. They've got a lot of work to do here. They trail by 2 with just under 5 minutes remaining, and they're down to 11 players. They go the short kickoff. Oh, yeah, he couldn't quite reel it in. He's protesting that he might have been taken without the ball, but the defensive player was well within his rights to tackle him there. He doesn't get the right of being in the air and not being tackled in that situation. As we see, Hamid El Bayed, he makes a break. He's running away. He bounces out of that tackle by Jenkins. And Penrith rolling forward now. Mason, he goes to Tweedy. Tweedy takes it, pops it back to Mason. Mason tries to take it back to centre field. He takes the tackle. He's been pants there. A bit more of an eyeful than we probably needed. Goes to the left. As we see the 19, barges over. That's Jai Winberger, the big front rower. And that opens up their lead to what you'd have to assume with a kick to come would be an almost unassailable 6 points and should be out to 8 points. Penrith Panthers 28, leading the Riverina Bulls 22. And like we talked about, discipline, the costly factor.
Yeah, to sin bin, and then the send-off there has turned out to cost Riverina in the end.
Certainly has, and an 8-point deficit will be very difficult to come back from it with 3 minutes remaining. They could still jag something if it stays at 6, but I would be backing and expecting that Mason will convert this one. As I say, a miss, though, could keep this one well and truly alive as we dot down on the clock towards 3 minutes remaining in the second half of this Laurie Daley Cup fixture between the Riverina Bulls and the Penrith Panthers, as Penrith look to make it 2-0 from the fixtures today. They ran out winners 46-0 in the corresponding Andrew Johns Cup fixture earlier today over the Riverina Bulls. And as I said, they lead this one 28 points to 22 with a kick to come in the Laurie Daley Cup. And sure enough, he makes no mistake. And I think that'll be the fat lady singing. That'll be 30 points to 22. The Panthers lead the Riverina Bulls with just over 2.5 minutes remaining in this Laurie Daley Cup fixture here at St Mary's Stadium. Again, this competition brought to us by our major sponsor, SLE Worldwide Australia. our partner, Anytime Fitness, and of course the broadcast partner, Bar TV Sports, bringing you all the sights and sounds of today's action. And it's been an exciting one, this Laurie Daley Cup fixture, Chris. It's had a bit of everything.
Yeah, sure. It's been close. It's been tough football. Plenty of skill.
You see them storming forward there off the back fence. It's been a trademark of Penrith on these kickoff returns. You see Davis and the winger coming in for some work here. He looks to get the ball free, but decides better of it. Oh. Might have a bit of a white gouging allegation here. No, he decided he doesn't want to go on with it.
Yeah, I thought Penrith were pretty hard done by there.
15 was physical. It's a question on whether or not there's anything more. An experienced touch-out here in Caroline Nolan. She's the first grade referee in the Country Rugby League competition. I think she's down on the south coast, so you're not going to get a more experienced person there. She's in prime position to see it if there was something going on, but you can't get up and retaliate when you're playing the ball. And he's lost it. He's dropped that there, and that'll be all she wrote. 90 seconds on the clock. The Panthers leading 30-22. I wouldn't be surprised to see some more feeling in the remaining 90 seconds, though.
Yeah, referee needs to stay on top here. This crucial time now for him.
He's controlled it well to this point. Let's not have the last 80 seconds ruin that. As Mason, he runs again himself. Gets the ball free. Pops it back. Mitch Owen. That's Isaac Papali. He's been impressive today, Chris. He's got through a lot of metres and a lot of work for a big body. Got a try for his reward.
There's been good performance all over the park today from a lot of the Penrith team.
Certainly has. There's been a lot of players have been impressive for both sides. As we see Mitch Owen go for his second run of the set. He bumps off for Torre, but he eventually succumbs to the tackle after that. For Torre, he wants to carry on with it. He wants to carry on with it. Oh, hang on. I think he might be alleging that he's been bitten here. He's pointing at something. The referee's called time off. This could be interesting here. We'll wait and see what happens, what transpires. 36 seconds on the clock. He's taking his jersey off and he's very demonstrable about something. He's pointing at his chest. Have a look. The referee's called him out. He's called the touch judge in, so that would say to me that it is probably a biting allegation. This is the process for it. I'll both take witness to whether or not there's any marks there, and they can't take it much further than that unless they've actually seen the bite, in which case the player would be sent off. But we said it had everything. Well, this is about all that was missing.
Yeah, I don't know what else the game could offer in the next 36 seconds.
I think the only other thing is fisticuffs. They're calling someone on. What's happening here? Call the ground manager on. That's right. That's part of the process too. He'll probably take a photo of the marks in this day of modern technology. Didn't have that nowadays, referee. Just a he said, she said almost. Yeah, sending the Penrith players back further. I think it's probably in everyone's best interest if they just call this now. Nothing good's going to come out of this last 30 seconds.
Fattori's obviously adamant something has happened unduly there.
Yeah, well, he's been pretty calm all game. He hasn't really been a hot-headed character, so he's
a little bit out of character from his game.
Yeah. Got up pushing and shoving, and the referees have done well again here. They've been exemplary over these last two fixtures. Speaking of fixtures, these games will be followed by the Country Rugby League senior representative fixtures. They'll be contested between the Newcastle sides and Riverina. Newcastle sides coming from their Newcastle and Hunter competition. Riverina coming from their respective competitions. And as we expected, Bryce Hotham puts that on report, and the original penalty will stand, will it? I'd say it will. The Panthers players giving the ball back to the Riverina player. The Riverina player, as usual, a little confused as to why there's been a biting allegation. Referee Hotham having to explain that. The skipper, Cody Collins, isn't happy. But again, unless they've actually seen the incident occur, even if there's marks, they can't take action against it. They only act on what they've seen. And I'm sure there'll be some feeling in this last 27 seconds, Chris Longworth.
Yeah, poor end to the game from what has been a quality game of football between both Riverina and the Penrith Panthers.
Hopefully it doesn't descend any further. Isaac Papali takes that one into contact. There'll be a couple of plays left here. They go to Mason. He goes to the last try scorer, Winbergen. He's got a double today, and he's barging forward. He's looking for his third. This should be all she wrote. There goes the hooter. Alexander goes out the back. That's Whitty. He's just happy to take it into contact, and that'll do. That'll be all she wrote here. Penrith Panthers running out winners in the end, and deservedly so. 30 points to 22. Oh, Whitty's got up with a little bit of push and shove. We don't need that. She's done. She's dusted. Chris, thanks for joining me today here for these Andrew Johns and Laurie Daley Cup fixtures. We've had 2 great wins to Penrith, a 46-0 win in the Andrew Johns Cup, a 30-22 win here over Riverina in the Laurie Daley Cup. And they'll continue on marching towards the semi-finals of these competitions. Thanks again, mate, to you for joining us. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. I've been Chris McPherson. This has been the Country Rugby League Andrew Johns and Laurie Daley Cup from St Mary's Stadium between Penrith Panthers and Riverina Bulls. Thank you.